I need to redo the, oh, wrong folder. I need to redo my PFP thing. Because, oh wait, no, I have the right one now. Oh yeah, no, I do. Oh, sick. Okay. So I can just go, wah. Okay, cool. How am I to balance when I have no physical skills? Har, har, har. Hey, Draco Kraken. That's right. Balance hard. You ever stood on one foot before? Jeez. So hard. Hate it. It's the worst. uh... Pulling up. I need... You will excuse me for a moment. Whilst I do so. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Hello. I am here with you. We are here today. Welcome back to Table Talk, Discussion, and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great on 95. And it's just me at the moment. It is I, all alone. Boo will be joining us later for sure. I have no idea where Aiden is. But I'm sure that we'll see him soon enough if he is going to make it tonight. I do have messages in our chat, so, and I had the ringer ring forever for Discord, so if neither of those wakes him, if he is asleep, then I don't know what will, really, at this point. Ready to learn how to balance my diet on Table Talk? That's right. We're going to be talking about balancing your checkbooks, as well as your diets, as well as your scales, as well as what else do you balance? Hold on. I'm great at jokes, I promise. What do humans balance? What do people do for fun as a search? Oh my god. Oh yeah, balance your work and life. That's right. Balance on a teeter-totter. There you go. That's another one. Alright, I'm done. Hello, Timothy. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the balancing episode, where I am imbalanced because it is only me. For now. Excuse me, goodness. I'm still recovering from my cough, because the cough lasts way longer than the sickness usually does. Whenever I get sick, I usually get a cough, and it lasts for a month or so. Sometimes more. Doing good? Good. Ow. Well, I suppose I will get started without the other two for now. Excuse me. Sounds like we're the same on the cough. I'm sorry that it's the same for you, for sure, Lux. But yeah, when I was up in UMaine, when I was up in UMaine, the college, for those who are not aware, I got sick, and the only thing that was wrong with me was that I had a cough, and I went to the on-campus fucking, not hospital, but medical center, I suppose is the best way to put it. And they went, "Hey, that's a bad cough you got there." I was like, "Yep. I don't know what's going on, but hey, it's lasting a long time." And they were like, "Okay." And then like one of the ladies there who was helping or running the place was like, "Oh my God, you might have like whooping cough." And I was like, "Okay. No, but maybe, I guess." And she was like freaked out. I didn't have whooping cough. The cough lasted another month after I went there. Um, and so they gave me some medicine and stuff, and it didn't do anything. So I just coughed for another month, and then I was fine. But like, I just remember how fucking scared this young lady was at the time. Uh, and I was like, I was just like, okay. Uh, there's like, it's pretty distinct when you have like whooping cough. I'm pretty sure. But okay. Thank you for at least putting it out of proportion enough to give me some antibiotics, I guess, to care. Because otherwise, they're just gonna be like, I don't know. I mean, it'll just run itself out. I was like, okay. Then again, prescribing antibiotics when I might not have needed it might have been bad for my immune system, because that's a problem with our healthcare. You would have a hard time breathing if it was whooping cough. Yeah, I would have. And it was hard to breathe when I was coughing, but other than that, I was fine. It's whatever. It's just a weird thing that happened to me when I was in school still. It's one of those things that really makes me wonder about the medical profession at times. But I have my own reservations. Excuse me. But yeah, it was a thing. So I'm used to it, even though I don't like it. It sucks, but it is a thing. Sometimes nature just needs to give you a whooping. That's true. It's absolutely true. It's I mean, nature, jeez, really really inconsiderate, sometimes. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about balancing in TTRPGs. I found two videos that seem to be, at least from the titles, system agnostic, which is interesting. I found another one that was like 50 minutes from Chaosium that they were doing a whole like 50-minute like interview about it. And I wanted to do that one, but then I was like, no, that seems a little too long, and I don't really feel like we need to go too in depth on that kind of a video, because it seemed a little bit more something that we would agree on more so, I think. But I didn't watch the whole thing, so maybe in the future, maybe I'll find it and we'll do it again if we come up to balancing as a topic again, right? But I found a couple, and they're a bit polar opposites here, right? One being that there is one true tip for balancing encounters, which is a very interesting term. I don't know what a true tip is, but I'm curious. And then the other being why the person stopped balancing TTRPG encounters. So one's saying that there is something there that you should follow, and then the other one's saying, meh, don't need to anymore, at least me. So very interested to see what both of these videos have to say about the subject. Better save the 50-minute video for the 24-hour stream. That's true. And you know what? Someday we will do a 24-hour stream, or at least I will, because I've done it before. When I was streamed by myself, when I was doing that for a while. It's not too hard. You just feel kind of death, and it's fine. Or did I only do 12 hours? No, I only did 12 hours. That's true. 12 hours made me feel kind of death. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a 24-hour one at some point to do like a, whoa, we've been doing this for a while. Wait, considering now we're on the weekends, that's actually more possible, I think. Because I don't work so on the weekend, so that would actually be fine. But yeah, God, I'd have to make a whole itinerary for that. We might do some videos as well as some gaming as well as just chilling out. Like, jeez. Anyway, so talking about balancing, we usually see balancing, at least brought up as a topic in something like D&D, right? Where encounters have to be balanced. I can hang with you for 24 hours. That's child's play. Appreciate it. But yeah, we usually talk about encounters in D&D and more, what's it called? Class-based systems, I suppose. Systems that are more combat prone, right? Because, I mean, that's part of it. You want to make sure that you give your party a challenge whilst also, hopefully, allowing them to overcome that challenge and continue with whatever you've prepared. You usually don't want to see characters die, but it is a thing that happens on occasion, and sometimes even the best balanced encounters can't stand to the roll of the dice. That's always an element that you can't really keep track of, at least as easily. Excuse me. So usually in something like a skill-based system, i.e., even something like Delta Green, or something like Call of Cthulhu, or something like Vampire the Masquerade, you can still balance an encounter to look a certain way to the characters. In each of those, you can do combat, right? Combat is possible. Not necessarily a good idea, not necessarily a bad idea, but it is possible. Something like Delta Green is more combat focused than something like Call of Cthulhu, right? Because you're usually playing as a character who has at least some experience in guns and such, right? Or at least they have access to weapons that are going to be more effective against something if it is, if it's more prone to being damaged. Of course, you could put them in an encounter that doesn't, like, excuse me, the thing that they're fighting does not take damage, or it's an encounter that isn't necessarily, it's more like a puzzle, right? Excuse me as I pop a cough drop. How to do balance, don't have Cyrus or Talathorn in your party. Fair enough. But usually in those kinds of systems, they feel at least a little more loose in the sense of the challenge that you put them against. Now, not to say that there isn't a challenge rating, quote unquote, or whatever for those systems, as I know in Vampire, a certain type of like ghoul or a certain gifted mortal or another vampire, they have little stat blocks that you can use to just throw those in there so that you can utilize whatever you need to, and they can be a challenge in themselves, just being like one thing, right? Plus you can spice it up with something like Delta Green or Call of Cthulhu. You have the thing that they're facing can do things out of turn or have multiple turns, all that kind of things. And D&D has that as well with its legendary monsters in 5e, and you can just do that whatever you want with multiple attacks and such, and just making things, harder or, I guess, easier depending on what you give them to face. But in something that is a skill-based system, I don't usually worry too much about how it's balanced, you know? I trust, at least, that in every situation, for a skill-based system especially, that my players are going to understand that retreating is an option, right? Which it's the same way in D&D, at least for me and the group, right? I think all of us have understood that retreating is an option. It's just that in D&D, you feel more obligated to fight the thing, because of the game system, being, pretty not stressful, stressing, that you do fight more. Pathfinder's the same way, you know? Hell, if you want to compare Delta Green to Call of Cthulhu, that's also true-ish there. But you have it's kind of a meta-knowledge that these systems like Vampire, like Delta Green, like Call of Cthulhu, those are less inclined for you to be okay if you fight something. So, I don't know. You get less of that fight until death attitude from your players. Good old Kobayashi Maru, that's right. Thank you for the Star Trek reference. Question for Alejo. Is there a debuff in D&D for a character going through withdrawals? You could make one. I would use the exhaustion mechanic if I didn't want to just make something. The exhaustion mechanic for D&D 5e works well for, I think, at least for giving ample drawbacks. Look into it. If it doesn't fit for you, then I would suggest Pathfinder's status, or many statuses that they have that you could do stacking on them. It really depends. Anyway, so my whole point with balancing is that you see it a lot in more combat-heavy systems than you do in the less combat-heavy systems. At least it's talked about a lot more. Because in the skill-based systems, it seems that you're more likely to avoid combat because of the implication of death, right? But it depends. Let's see. What else? Oh, I think I've like meandered around it a bunch at this point because my brain doesn't work right. But basically, in something like Vampire, I'll throw like people, like a mob, right? That is going to go against the coterie. And it might be like 5 people, might be like 10 people, right? I'm not going to worry too much about it because in something like that, either they're going to fight and it could turn out fine for them because they're vampires, or they're going to run away, or some of them will run away, some of them will fight. It really depends on the situation. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's going to die from it. And I usually feel like it will be signposted if somebody will die from something, right? Speaking of Vampire, there's a scenario in the starter scenario that's there that one of the points is that the coterie can go and find, or does go and find this abandoned construction site, right? And they're looking for somebody that's, killing people and leaving messages behind. And so they go here to try to find them, see if they find this person, and they can find a hidden kind of thing if they succeed in some tasks. Otherwise, they just find some information, right? And one of the things that can happen, or that you that the scenario puts in front of them is that there's an angry mob of people who have been hearing about these killings and who are getting afraid, right? Who have seen these people go to this abandoned building that seem more organized, and so they go there to try to confront them, to try to figure out, and stop them, right? Because they've got it in their heads that these are the people who are responsible. And one of the things they do is they firebomb the building, set it alight with fire. And so that's a clear indication of, oh, you could die from this. They all carry like AKs and shit, right? They're all with illegal assault weapons, whatever. So you show that to them like out the window, because they would hear them coming, right? And then they get a chance to figure out what to do, what they want to do, how they want to get out of the building, if they want to turn around and fight them, though even they are innocent people, right? So you got stains there that you could lose humanity from if you fight them and all of that. And when they set the building on fire, that also triggers a roll for fear frenzy. Yeah, fear frenzy, I think it is. And that can get some of them to panic and try to get the fuck out of there, because fire bad for vampires, and vampires have they don't like fire. They could burn and die with their final death, right? And so that whole scenario is like for what? It's like a total of 4 people in your coterie that it's written for. It's got like a bunch of people who are coming to do this, and I ran it for some people, and they got out. One of them just used obfuscate and just was invisible and laid on the ground. Or no, one of them was invisible in the building, and then it caught fire and was like, shit. Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
I'm telling a story about vampire.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So one of them was obfuscating up in the building, and it caught fire, and at that point they even resisted their fear frenzy, and so they were in the building while it was on fire and was able to react rationally and try to get out of there, right? That person got out of there on their own. The rest of them, one of them jumped out the window and like fell pretty bad. The others jumped out a different window, but they didn't fall, and they got into a car and they picked up the other person, and like they all got out of there. A few bullets did graze them, and the car was fucked, and it made the news, right? But they all got out of there, and like even though there was a fear of death, I didn't care that there was like twice the people in the group that was against them than there was in the coterie, because I was like, no, it should work out fine, and if it doesn't work out fine, that's the drama, I think it'll be fine. But I really didn't think that it was going to be that bad, especially since it was designed that way. So, but all that to say, that's an example of not having to worry about the balancing, at least for that kind of system. Anyway, hi.
Hello.
Timothy also says, hi, Uncle Boo.
Oh, hello.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess
you're
I
the
am
uncle.
the uncle. I forgot.
Yeah, that's right.
See, this bitch over here he purports to not be your father.
That's
but
right.
I'll be the uncle.
That's easy, okay? You don't have to do
true.
much.
It's true.
Anyway.
All I have to basically do is just be different from you guys, and I'm good.
Just be around sometimes.
Also, I decided what I'm going to play next while we're waiting for... actually, wait, I guess I could buy it now, but I don't think I really want to. I want to wait a week.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I decided what I'm going to play. I'm going to play Heat and Blood, right? Because I missed that game.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's a good game.
Yeah. Anyway. So Boo actually suggested this topic this time around. So we're going to be talking about balancing. And now that I've faffed about enough that I'm not alone, we'll get started.
Yeah, because I talk about it a lot when I am running D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I am shit at balance. And I was watching I'm watching an actual play from Chaosium, who are doing a Call of Cthulhu playthrough. And what am I trying to say here? After I started watching that actual play, I got recommended another video from Chaosium about balancing. And I'm like,
is it the 50-minute one?
It was the 50-minute one. And I'm like, we definitely couldn't do that for the podcast.
Well, I was actually talking about that because I found that too, and then somebody said, I think it was Lux, said, like, save that for a 24-hour stream, and I was like, there you go, that's fair.
Yeah, and so anyway. I'm like, I would love to talk about balancing, but not that video, because it's just too damn long.
It's too long for a regular episode,
us.
For sure.
I'm sure it's a good video, though.
Oh, I'm sure it has a lot of insight, very much so.
And by the way, while we're doing this, I'm gonna be playing Ion Fury. I'll be listening and still offering, shit. Yes. And then I also will need to step away for a little bit in about maybe 10 or so minutes, because I've got hot dogs on a hot dog roller.
Oh yes, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, this video, this starting one, before we get to the second one, that's the opposite-ish. This one is called the one true tip for balancing TTRPG encounters. It's brought to us by TrueSight, a smaller YouTube channel, it seems. Now, again, as I said in the beginning, true tip is a very interesting combination of words, because I don't know what that means. I suppose it is the only tip that we need.
Yeah, either that or it's just like the best tip they can come up with or something.
But when you put the word true in a title, or you use it, I usually go, what the fuck? Why what does that mean? Because that means something different to you than it does to me, for sure. So, it's not that long a video. We shall see how it goes.
All right.
How do you create balanced encounters? How do you adjust challenge rating or other leveling tools to the characters your players bring to the table? How do you create engaging, thrilling combat that's not too soft, not too strong, that's just right and perfectly challenging? What if I told you that you didn't have to?
Oh.
The player characters and your enemies do not have to be on the same level.
Alright, this is a gripe that is just to me. I don't like the repeating GIFs that people use in videos, because if I see the one time, okay, that's fine. But if you're just gonna put it on repeat, I don't know, that just bugs me super hard. It's just one of those things that it's like, you just didn't have enough to put in there, so you just had it repeat for a while, and it's like, okay, good, great. All right.
And there are definitely examples that you could probably pull from, like different GIFs that just last a tiny bit longer.
Right, exactly. And like, I get the emphasis of this, sure. Go for it. What you could do as well is take the actual clip and play the clip. I know that's a little more risky. I get it. Believe me, I do. But fair use does exist. So you could do it. It just might be a little more of a fight, and then I would go like, okay, this is fine, because you paused for the clip. It might rub me the wrong way if you do it too much, right? But otherwise, like, I just see this repeating in my vision, and I go,
It just kind of gets the mind goblins to go on a tiny little wah.
But that might just be me. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. You are trying to bend a spoon with your mind, your creativity, and maybe a little math, but I'm here to tell you that there is no spoon. There is no balance. The quicker you realize it's not there, the quicker you will create new encounters that are more exciting than constantly seeking an impossible holy grail. Why is there no balance? How can I say such a thing? Because your players already know this rule. They know, and I bet you know it too when you're in the player's seat, that the perfectly tuned leveling and damage equations of a video game are simply not present in a tabletop role-playing game.
Right.
But
that's not what we're going for.
Yeah, we're not trying to emulate a video game here.
All we're trying to do is present a fair or tough or sometimes deadly challenge.
Yeah. And you just don't want... Essentially, you don't want to be like, oh, man, this looks great. I can't wait to have them fight this, and they'll win, and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that they fucking get destroyed. That's not what we want. And that can happen.
Yes, and it's the thing. The only thing you can't account for is dice rolls. Really.
Yes.
You set it up as best you can, and then you put it out there, and you hope that at least they overcome it. If not, just easily surpass it. Okay. If they easily surpass it, fuck it. Who cares? You did it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing went wrong, right?
Exactly.
If something bad fucking happens and like you get a whole party wipe, when it wasn't supposed to be that difficult, then it's like, ooh. Uh-oh.
You know, if you have a character die in the first session because you didn't understand how deadly centipede swarms were.
Yeah, that's right.
And then one person dives into the water to escape, and then you just have a fucking monster in there.
Yep.
It'd be a real fucking shame, wouldn't it? I'm not bitter.
Hey man, it's that one module. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, I know. I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah. So I guess fine. You're right that the video game aspect doesn't exist in my not video game. You're right. I don't. As a player, I never thought it did. As a DM, I also didn't think it did because I read the books. And I guess even though I thought this was going to be more agnostic to system, we're at least saying CR. So I don't know how we'll see, but okay. The true tip is the original tip introduced by the gods to the world. Oh, okay. So he's been enlightened, is what you're telling me. Gotcha. Okay. He really likes the meme and wants you to like it. Well, you know. Yeah. I think he's only talking to video game players, I guess. No, I don't know. I get the mindset of you think, hey, I'm going to play a game. And, I've played a video game before. And so you kind of correlate, might be kind of like a video game. It's like how Skyrim kind of like when people come to D&D after playing Skyrim, they have these preconceived notions and all that. At least that was the meme for a while. So, I can get that, but at the same time, I give people more credit than that. You know? Maybe this is for...
Well, there's a problem.
I know. Maybe this is for newer people, but I don't know. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure video games are perfectly balanced either. Not necessarily, no. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But, I mean, they at least have a lot more of the time been balanced more, you know?
Yeah.
For the experience that they want. Okay.
Yeah, because they don't have to work with randomness.
Yes, exactly. And even randomness in a game is pseudo-random. It's not true random. So.
Yeah, it's more like a random encounter, but that random encounter is still selected from a list of things that are perfectly tailored to your level.
Exactly.
It's not like in Morrowind where you could walk into a dungeon and then go all the way to the bottom, and then there's a fucking skeleton lord down there. It's like, oh shit, I am not strong enough to do this. And then you fucking die.
Yeah.
In a video game, you have finite options. In Dragon Age Origins, you can rush into a fight with several chosen combat skills based on your class. You can try to go in stealthy and set up traps and use the tactical view to set up an ambush, or you can use 6 branching dialogue options to turn combat into a roleplay puzzle. In a typical TTRPG, there are several options given to you, but also whatever you can imagine.
Yes.
As long as your game master approves it, your character can do it. So, if you're in the game master seat, why not approve of this rule for yourself? Now, of course, I'm not saying to go overboard with this and just buck the stats and play full Calvin Ball, but I think too many game masters, especially dungeon masters for 5
Calvin Ball, it's Calvin and Hobbes. It's a made-up game where the rules don't really matter, and it's just it's
weird.
Just a reference to Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, D&D. Go overboard on the other side of the spectrum. Don't be beholden to a standard monster or enemy's noted challenge rating or power level.
Well, So maybe you'll go into it, but you shouldn't anyway because they're kind of bullshit most of the time.
Mm.
They they didn't ever expect a lot of things, really, it doesn't seem. Like
Yeah.
magic items and what the player's ingenuity can really do. Hell, we covered a whole video that was talking about a fix that they did for a whole different site that even like allows you to put in a bunch more information to get a more accurate CR rating.
Yes.
But even then, you know, I mean, the dice, right? The dice are gonna fuck you in some ways and help you in others, depending on which side you're on, I suppose. But I agree at least with don't worry about the CR stuff necessarily. But maybe you'll go into it. Maybe.
So, yeah.
Balancing for a video game depends on the game. My game I'm working on, as I listen, has the player's physics change on a random 10-second timer. As long as I can do it on base physics, I consider it close. Yeah, there you go. Fair enough.
Your party is unique and will quickly warp this number for better or for worse.
Okay,
so
cool.
You might as well just pick an enemy that's close.
Mm-hmm.
There is no spoon.
Okay, we can stop with the...
But Jackson, you say, the monster's damage output, weapons, defenses, action economy, and motivation all matter, right? Right.
Yes.
And you are welcome to pool your party's average accuracy and damage per round to find the mathematically perfect monster that will last the exact number of rounds that you think the table will enjoy.
Well, okay. Well, all right. We don't need to do that. I mean, you could. We don't necessarily need to do that. I get the
nobody's
I get the
going
hyperbole.
to.
I get the hyperbole, but at the same time, like, straw.
Yeah.
And then your players can thrash that number by using that special summon you forgot about or use honey to try to staunch the flames of the monster's immolation attack. Your perfectly forged spoon will be warped beyond your comprehension. So just accept that there is no spoon. Yes, the numbers, as well as the intangible factors like morale, personality traits, and flaws, and how like your monster is to be seduced by the bard, do still matter, but they aren't the be-all, end-all of your encounter design. You should know if a certain fight will be a deadly challenge or an easy stroll through the tall grass. This is mostly felt out through experience, but if you're just getting into the game mastering, you don't have to go by a vibes-only approach. Compare your monster's strongest attack to your squishiest character's hit points. Will one attack instantly kill them? Then that's probably a little too tough and you could scale it back. What about 10?
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Oh my god, an actual...
That's, yeah. That is exactly a good starting step. Thank you.
Yeah,
very
finally.
True. Okay. and I agree. Like, I agree with what your premise was beforehand of, like, hey... don't
worry
get
about it so much.
Yeah, don't get so tripped up. But at the same time, the way that you got there, I didn't like.
Yeah, it took a lot of time, and
I totally forgot about the show until like just now. I saw Boo's message in the channel.
Yeah.
Give me like just a second. I'm like in the midst of like reorganizing my closet right now. I will be right back.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna need to step away as well for my hot dogs.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you want to do that now.
Like give me like 2 minutes.
Sure. Plus, if your really good stuff is more easy and the other way around, or what? Oh, balancing?
Yeah, probably.
Your really good stuff is more easy, and your really bad stuff is super hard, I assume? Yeah, I suppose. Or someone might cast Phantasmal Killer. True. That could also happen. Well, so that's the thing. With balancing these encounters, you just need to know what your players can do, right? If we're talking about anything, really, but if we're going to go for D&D specifically, since that seems to be the way that we're headed, you can see their character sheet. You can see all the spells they have access to and the spells that they have memorized, and you know, they have to prepare per day, or they have just access to in general. you know how much they've used over the course of the session, so you can judge whether or not they are going to have an easier or harder time. But the assumption, at least on my end, would be that if you created this encounter, you have thought about that, right? You have thought about how much they might use because of every obstacle that you've put in front of them before they get to the fight that you're worried about or whatever. And so you can kind of have at least some indication of this is fine. This will be okay. Not just going by the math, because again, you can, but it's really you know, probabilities and stuff. I mean, hell, what is it? The most common number rolled for 2d6 is 7, I think, right? And I've played Catan, and my God, have I wished for 7s and 6s and all of that, and they just never happened. It was fucking 12s and 9s and fucking 11s, and I was like, these are the least fucking rolled things ever. How?
Yeah, what the fuck probability?
Exactly. So, like, yeah, you can have a good baseline for the math, but at the same time, you gotta, put into the account that the universe hates you, because it does.
Yes. Indeed, it hates everybody.
It hates everybody equally. So, it's the great unifier of that. Mostly because of its indifference. It's less hate. It's more indifference.
Yeah.
It's more about skill than level when balancing. Yes and no.
Yeah, because the problem is if you have, like, what's a good example? You may have a fighter who's got multiple attacks because of his level specifically, but if he is he may have multiple attacks because of his level, but he could still run into bad luck. At least if he was a lower level, he would have fewer attacks and he'd still have shit luck.
Right. And like, it could be that your player is less tactical than you might think, or more tactical than you might think. Skill is definitely there for sure, but level is kind of the equalizer that you can kind of at least put a lot of weight into, because it's like, oh, when they're this level, they have all of these things. Now I can account for all of these things because these are definite, right?
Yes.
Whereas maybe that day they just don't feel like being as strategic, and it's like, well, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think I've ever looked at my players' character sheets. That's fair. That's another whole thing. You don't need to necessarily, especially when you know how the characters work in the sense of you've been playing the game, and you know how a fighter works or how a wizard works, and if they take spells and they run them by you when you're the GM, then you go, oh, you took that spell, okay, and then you keep it in your head or you don't,
Yeah, that was my biggest. That was my biggest failing. Usually, is like, oh man, I've got this boss, and then I design it before you guys get shit, and then I forget that Brogan's got fucking slow, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, but oh yeah, to get back to this, yeah, if the monsters attack, like even their basic like whatever attack can just one-shot somebody, yeah, it's probably probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. I like the dragon art he's using as an avatar. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Attacks. Well, that's hardly worth all of our time, is it? 3 to 5? Yeah, sounds like a good monster. Let's take a peek at the true sight model here. For the game, pick a monster you or your players think is cool and make that monster work. You can pick a monster from a player's backstory or wish list and determine the right time for the narrative to introduce the fight. Then,
yeah, I assume like, oh, I've never fought X in a game.
Yeah,
before,
I'd like to. That's just weird.
Hey, I mean, that's a way to go, I suppose.
I guess. I guess if you don't have like a
Double-check the stat.
definitive thing going on.
Yeah. But again, he's also saying consider the narrative, make sure that it fits and all that. So
Oh, he did say that. Okay.
yeah. So it's not just like, I'm just gonna put this fucking thing here,
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Can't hear you. Need to change my device
Oh
output.
my god.
Wrong.
This man always has PC troubles.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
Christ.
Look at him coming in here saying he has PC trouble. Sheesh.
We never have fucking technical problems.
Never.
Ever.
Technical difficulties on this podcast?
That's for this guy.
Hello.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh,
Nothing.
talking about balancing.
Yeah, talking about balancing, talking about this fucking guy.
I found a couple of things, yeah.
By the way, Alejo,
Hello.
is there any progress on that set of headphones you were going to recommend to me?
Oh, fuck, I completely forgot. No, yeah, I will do that right after, for sure.
Right. And now that Aiden's here, I'm going to step away, get my hot dogs, and I'll be back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, if Boo's stepping away, I'm going to go grab my water.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
I'm here.
Yeah. But yeah, I will make sure to figure it out, because I assume that the receipt is somewhere. I don't know where I got them through, but if I look in my email and I search like headphones, I might find it. Or what the fuck is the company again? Philips.
What?
So
was it Philips or Bose?
It's Philips. Yeah. Bose is way expensive, but like not what I was looking for at the time.
Yeah.
Actually, let me before I forget, fuck it.
So, quick little update while we wait for Boo.
Sure.
I decided to. This started with me reorganizing my stuffed animals on my couch. And I've got them arranged all cute. And then I looked at my desk, and I thought, wow, my desk is like really dusty. I should like. I've been putting off cleaning it for so long. I should go like in depth with like a wet rag around like every crevice, move everything on my desk, get it like spick and span. And then this turned into, wow, I should really clean my mouse pad. And then this turned into, wow, I have some agate on my bookshelf. I can bring that over to be like, to act kind of like a coaster. And while I'm over here, why don't I just rip every book off of my bookshelf, clean my bookshelf with a wet rag. And also, while we're at it, let's reorganize my bookshelf. Hey, I don't really have room for these books. I should move them and put them into storage. Because I have like 18 books I need to put away into storage.
Yeah.
Because like I've read them already, and I have one of my bookshelf storage cubes is all books that I need to read or am reading currently. So I need to put away the books. Right. And then I'm like, hey, wow, I really don't have space for my books in my closet, unless if I were to rearrange. And cue me with like a pile of books on my bed, ripping through my closet to get rid of like some clothes hangers and find a spot to store those, because I can. Oh wow, look at that. I've just discovered that I had a pair of like Bluetooth headphones that I forgot about. I can connect those to my like PC's like Bluetooth capabilities.
Right.
Oh, look at that. There's a 25-foot Cat 6 Ethernet cable that I completely forgot I bought. And I recently just bought one of those, like, the things you lay cords under so that you can step on the pad but not on the cord. I can like loop my Cat 6 cable around through that and then loop that around my entire room, which will require me to like move my living room and like reorganize that. But then I can have Ethernet capabilities too. And dude, it's been a fucking day.
Honestly, it sounds nice. Like, it doesn't sound like that bad.
I've just been like letting my OCD of like, oh, there's a new thing to obsessively clean.
Exactly. Right.
This is why I say like I definitely have OCD, but it's not like obsessively because like I won't open and close the door 20 times to make sure that it's closed right. But there are just some days where I'm like, I must clean everything.
Right. I feel that.
I have occasional compulsive disorder.
Yes, there you go. Well, I sent you the link. Those are my things that I've been using for years. If you can find a cheaper thing somewhere or whatever, or refurbished or whatever, because usually the refurbished stuff is fine.
All right, sweet.
Those are the ones that I use and that I've been using for years at this point. So.
Yeah, no, like this topic initially came up when you were sick and dying.
Yeah, that's why I probably didn't.
So I was like, I should like check in because he probably forgot.
Yes, and I appreciate that because I totally did. Let's see. Is this chart his own? It does seem so, yes. Oh, here. Let me be a good person that remembers things.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's almost like I mentioned joining the watch together for a reason.
No, it's fine. No, it's yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's that for that. Let's see. You'd want to look at a homebrew spell before you approve it? Yeah, exactly. You're getting distracted by Catan right now? Hell yeah, there you go. Just have a plushy mountain. I have them all on a shelf somewhere. All of my figures and plushes and such.
I have a cute little family.
Nice.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. We have not moved. Don't worry.
Oh.
Catan Universe has some pretty bad reviews on Steam, so that's unfortunate. Yes. I've also tried it. It is fine.
What is it?
Should I? Catan Universe. It's just Catan, but you can play online with people, and it's fine.
Nice.
I also have
would you like me to show the people?
Family. If they are inclined to look, again, this was like while I was reorganizing, so like things are kind of messy, but
there you go, everybody. It's not out like I want it to. But hey, whatever. Plushies. Okay. There's a. I can't. Okay. Anyway. Keep playing Mule. Fair enough. Play Catan at some point. Catan is good. It makes people hate you sometimes, but that's fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so. Aiden,
really,
to catch you...
arguably, that's the goal of Catan.
Yeah, sometimes. To catch you up, so far, this has been the one true tip for balancing TTRPG encounters, though it seems like it is mostly D&D, though it could apply to other things, I suppose. But D&D is more prevalent at the moment.
Yes.
The thing is, don't stress too much, and which was the first like 3 minutes of getting to that point of don't stress too much about it. The numbers aren't the only thing that matters. And then saying, but if you're new, if the monster you're going to choose is they're like one of their attacks is going to probably just be all of somebody's health, that's probably too much. So you might want to dial it back for the monster or choose a different monster. And now we are at the point of a Venn diagram of 3 things: game, IRL, and meta, I think. I might have, because meta and IRL seem the same to me, so I don't, let me drag it back.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
3 to 5? Yeah, sounds like a good monster. Let's take a peek.
No, I was right. Okay. So we're on this Venn diagram of game, meta, and IRL, and just basically these are the things that you should have considered, I suppose, or in your choices of encounters and such.
You should be considering having your players use meta knowledge.
I don't know if that's what that means.
In order to balance encounters.
I don't know if that's what that means, but I'm curious when we get there.
You should plan on people IRL know that trolls don't recover from fire damage.
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what those two.
That is at the blend of game meta and IRL. What else could it mean?
I don't know, but we shall see.
What did he say? Yeah,
we haven't gotten there yet. Jesus, I told you. Okay, let's let him continue.
At the true sight model here. For the game, pick a monster you or your players think is cool and make that monster work.
Are you guys getting any audio?
Yes.
Yes.
Or are you not?
No.
Oh.
Hold on. I was muted. What did he say?
For the game, pick a monster you or your players think is cool and make that monster.
I need to.
Is your everything fucked?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Fill me in.
Okay.
Time is it? 3 to 5? Yeah, sounds like a good monster. Let's take a peek at the true sight model here. For the game, pick a monster you or your players think is cool and make that monster work. You can pick a monster from a player's backstory or wish list and determine the right time for the narrative to introduce the fight, then double check the stats in the metagame. You can use the environment and world building elements to add flavor, difficulty, and complexity to even a lower level monster to make it interesting.
True.
Yeah.
On the metagame side of things.
Oh, that was it. Oh, okay. Well,
let's
at least talk about it, I guess, a bit more. Yeah, pick something you like, sure. If you can make it work into a backstory, that's usually something that can endear your players into the encounter. Really can push the narrative ahead for their specific narrative, or you can do a group thing somehow with that, having them bond more over things that happen in the backstory that they now have to explain. It's good. It's ripe for a lot of intercharacter communication. Considering the narrative, yeah, you always probably should. I mean, as long as it works in what's happening right now, then yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we were saying, if you just take something random and then just throw it in there, it's usually a little less believable, and can sometimes make it a little less satisfying for your players because, oh my god, this is
just a random thing here.
Yeah, it's a magma golem in the winter place, which, to be fair, could add intrigue, right? If you plan it that way.
That's part of the story, yes.
Exactly. So if you can make it intriguing because of whatever you put in there, for sure, like, go for it. As long as you have the reasoning behind it, as long as it makes it consistent with your world and with, everything that's going on, then you're fine, right? Mm-hmm. There's no bad idea. There's no bad usage of monster. It's just your placement of them could become questionable if you just go, no, they were just there.
Yeah.
Right? Breaks the immersion, I suppose. Add environment, flavor, and world building. I mean, sure, like, just do that for most everything. I mean, if you can.
Yeah. As long as it's not something that's like, I don't know, there's like rats in the sewer. I don't think you need a ton of world building for that. Essentially, the world building is you're in a sewer.
Right. And like we were saying with the magma golem in the winter zone, right? Whatever. Maybe somebody created it at some point, like a wizard created it so that it would be a guardian as well as a heating source, right, for their tower that's out here. And that wizard has recently died, and so the golem is now not under his control, and so it's running rampant, and now it's found them. And it's just as simple as that. You can just figure out something there that you've made the world more alive because of it. And so fucking go for it. You don't have to do anything too in depth, but as long as you do something, it'll probably make it more memorable. Supernova blade maybe for big eye small mouth for what? Oh, I missed something. Cyrus's supernova blade would not be improved. Oh, well, it depends on the system. Hello.
Oh fuck, hold on. I fucking hate that Windows sets its audio output differently than Discord does.
See, I never have that problem, and I know you can't hear me at the moment. I never had that problem because I disable everything that I don't want it to be set to.
True. That's what I do as well.
Yeah. I've tried to tell this man. We've done multiple Friday the 13th together, and I've tried to tell this man, but he forgets or doesn't listen to me. Either one. I don't know.
Welcome to my world.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
Even a lower level monster.
Okay, we're good. Sick. Here I will say again, what you should do in order for it to not switch to things is just disable the things that you don't want to have sound come out of in your sound.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different ways that I like receiving sound because I have a lot of different things I will like listen to my computer like audio with.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like I've got a Bluetooth headset, a couple sets of Bluetooth earbuds, my corded headset.
It's weird that they don't just like auto disable when they're not being used. So
no, I've got to keep them around.
Weird. Okay. Well, anyway, let's see. Timothy says, "Love those plushies, bro."
Thank you.
People have monsters wish lists. Yes. It's basically just I've never fought this kind of monster, or I've never seen this kind of monster in a game. Maybe we could do that at some point. Like, it's not an official thing, quote unquote, but it's just the colloquial term that I can understand. I kind of just let common knowledge players have about monsters just be common knowledge in game, not exactly have can only be killed by fire or acid be the big surprise about a troll. Oh, sure.
Yeah, no, I that's how I tend to rule it.
Yeah. Though this troll can only be killed by lightning might be the surprise. Yes, exactly. If you make something more unique, for sure. Okay. So this is all the game stuff. I suppose next is meta. Here we go.
To make it interesting. On the metagame side of things, how many rounds do you want this to last? I tend to go with a 3-round rule, but that rule is also broken all the time, just like most rules in TTRPGs. That's what they're made for. How much mental load are you prepared to give yourself? Running a complicated monster and a complicated environment will stress you out and introduce mistakes, so don't go overboard when a simpler monster will do the job. And you can still do the math. Math is not evil. If what you take away from this is my equation for figuring out, how much damage that monster will cause in a round, and you say, yes, balance still does matter, then that's fine with me. You can use keywords like deadly and easy to give yourself a better goal than balanced.
Why do you sound like Aiden there?
I don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm not super fond of that. Like just the intonation and everything with the word, like that was weird.
I get your encounters should have themes of like this is going to be a boss encounter,
right?
I like sometimes if like it's fitting to do in a campaign, I'll just straight up tell my players, I'm like, this is the boss of this arc.
Sure, yeah. Totally fair. Now, I don't have a problem with any of these points, necessarily. The how many rounds things, I usually assume 2 rounds is going to be how long it lasts, because that's usually the average for 5e monsters. Because fucking you can do a lot in 2 rounds and fucking kill a guy, especially when there's 4 people that can all do something, right?
Yeah.
The rules can be bent and broken, that being why rules are there. That's not why the rules are there. No, they're there as your guideline.
Rules are made to be broken.
Yeah.
Dude.
it's like, no, just say they're a guideline.
Your players will try to break your rules.
Yes.
Try to break your game.
Sure.
So you gotta break your players first.
That's right. Bend them. And so that's fine, I suppose, in the right context. The mental workload is definitely something that you should consider.
Yes.
Fucking when you come up with a monster and you go through all of the math for it, and then you just go, fuck, I hate this.
Yup.
That's definitely something that's happened.
That's something that I know I've talked about in the past when I did the alligator encounter.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the party divided up onto 3 rafts, 50 feet apart on a moving water. That moved like the river moved 50 feet per turn.
Yes.
I very specifically wanted to start out the combat by catching the players in a formation that like didn't benefit them.
Yes.
But when one of my players said, "Hey, can I destroy water in between my raft and the raft I'm behind?" So then that way, like when the water rushes in to fill that gap, we can ride the wave forward to the wave that the raft that the crocodile is attacking. I one of the reasons that I said yes to like allowing that to happen is because I had already achieved my goal of catching the players off guard, and I didn't want the fucking cleric to be looking through his list of what offensive spells he could cast at 50 feet. And there was none.
Really?
Oh wait, he had spiritual weapon, I think.
Spiritual weapon, fucking Sacred Flame is also
Did
60
not
feet.
have it.
Oh. Well.
He was not that kind of cleric.
I understand entirely.
His whole thing was scouting.
Okay, that's cool. Unfortunate for that moment.
It's a really neat character,
yeah.
But like, golly gee, I kind of made an encounter that was kind of poison to him.
Hey, that's fair. So yeah, mental workload, yeah, for sure. In like everything, I think. Just in general. Math is not evil. Yes, this is the thing that everyone should know, because D&D is math. TTRPGs are math. I'm sorry if you didn't know that, but hey, everything has math in it. Yes. To some degree. Simple, easy math that you can do, I promise. I promise. And then the keywords thing, I guess that's just for mindset, really.
Yeah.
Which, if that helps you for your mindset, sure. The weird, I guess if the balanced comment was for somebody who doesn't like the word because of the implication of everything needs to be balanced, right? Like
everything needs to be like perfect.
Right, exactly. If that's what you're trying to do, then I understand more. But at the same time, like I don't, whatever. Yeah. Sure.
The fact that you need to move away from the keyword of balance, implies that you think that the word balance means every encounter must be milquetoast.
Right, exactly. And I don't think that's what he thinks. I think that's just the thing that he's trying to make a joke against. But I don't know for certain. I'm just trying to take that in as best faith as I can. Hey Pizza Funk, how's it going? Geneva Conventions are made to be broken. That's right. That's why they're called the Geneva Suggestion. God, everybody knows. I don't even want to join an army if I'm gonna have to remember all that. Oh yeah, well, you know. Rules are made to be broken is Talathorn's motto. Fair enough. Okay, well, let's see about IRL, I guess.
Give or take away legendary actions or resistances. This is something that can help even out the action economy or help make a legendary cool monster that you really want to show off to a lower level party actually possible for them to fight or run away from.
Giving them the legendary actions makes it possible for them to fight it? And resistances?
I think he's saying, like, taking a regular monster and giving it legendary actions and resistances helps make that monster shine, which, yes, it absolutely does. I do that all the fucking time. Like, that's kind of what the crocodile initially was. I didn't have time to make an encounter before a session one day. And I kind of just said, what if we made it big?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and absolutely, I would agree, because that it makes it so that your shitty little thing that could die in 2 hits becomes a lot more scary, for sure.
Now it can die in 3 hits.
Yeah, now it can die in 3 hits. Fuck yeah. So.
And real life side of things. Rarely, if ever, will a player say, wow, that fight was my favorite. It was so fair. So, come up with other words that you would want to use for your favorite fight.
Okay.
What? I mean, okay.
Nobody.
So, again, I assume this is for mindset.
Yeah.
Which is fine. If that works for you, it's fine. But okay. So just because something is balanced doesn't mean that it's fair. Necessarily. At least from the perspective of the players or the monster itself. Technically, if you have an encounter with 1 monster and 4 things that are fighting it, 4 characters, that's not fair. let's be entirely honest.
Let's be fair.
Let's be fair. To be fair, in fact. But yeah, I mean, you're right about people don't say that because nobody says that.
Yeah.
They say that was a memorable thing, or I remember that because it was cool, or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like simple words that
that's my favorite fight thus far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's not about the feel of the fight necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just about how it made them feel, right? Which you can't control that. You can try to present encounters that cater to their preferences, absolutely. But doesn't mean that it will necessarily work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a cool mini as a gift or something. Throw that cool mini or cool piece of art into your next encounter and make the rules work around it.
Sure.
Consider or ask what degree of combat challenge your players actually want. Some players want a gritty challenge, but some players want a break after work and some slice of life fantasy time with their friends.
That is a good point, first off.
Okay, so, yes, it is a good point, but why is this only being considered now? Should this have been considered at the session 0?
I'm wondering, is this all before, like, everything that we've talked about, is this supposed to be before we've started playing?
Yeah.
Because, like, if so, okay. And if it's between encounters, well, then you should already know this.
Yeah.
So, I guess I have to assume that this is before I've done any work. at all. Okay. I don't think I follow this guy. Well, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of meandering a touch.
I get what he's saying, and it makes sense enough that I can follow it, but, you know.
Yeah.
That one sounds like Q logic. Oh, which one? Because I'm appreciating the Star Trek references. Oh, fair fights aren't always the best fights? Is that what you mean? Because, yes. Anyway. They may not say it was so fair, but they will say it was touch and go or it was close. True.
Yeah.
Yes, those are good terms for sure.
Take suggestions and requests from players. I guarantee they have some good ideas on what will make the game better for them.
Sure.
One more thing. Remember that there is a balance that very much does matter, and that is the balance between player characters. But I think that's for another video.
Oh.
I hope this helps you with your next combat encounter. I hope you will remove from your shoulders the burden of creating a perfect monster player balance and instead realize that the end goal is a good time and a good story that involves everybody at the table.
Sure.
There is no balance. There is no spoon. Be free. Thank you for watching and have a Nat 20 day. Bye-bye.
So, but there is balance. You literally have
there
already
absolutely is balance.
But you've already like told us how to balance things.
Yeah, that you had one good point where it's like, if your monster can one-shot your weakest character, change it.
So I think the Venn diagram that he's put at least has good elements to it. I don't know. It just doesn't really like give me too much, at least personally. I guess it is supposed to be for more new people, you know? To get them to start considering this stuff, I suppose.
I guess.
That's all I've got, really.
Yeah, right?
Because, like, again, the first part was don't stress, and that was the first 3 minutes. And then the second part was the rest of it, which was the Venn diagram. And that one thing in the middle of don't let them die from one attack if you can help it with the monster, maybe tone it back. Right?
Yeah.
And like the Venn diagram has some okay stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's just like the only hard point, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is something that you shouldn't do, and this is a thing to look out for.
Yes. Yeah, it's the most tangible
more of that,
point.
Please. That was good.
Yeah, it's the most tangible point. The other stuff was a lot more feel it out, which I agree with, because that's something that you need to know from experience, you know? You need to know, and you will get that as you continue to play and continue to run things. You'll feel it out more and you'll understand how these things work together and how your table is going to be, how all those characters work together, the encounters that they will overcome easily or not, right? Like, that's something that you need to learn over time. And this, I guess, will put you in more of that mindset slightly. But I also don't agree with the weird, not really demonizing, but just like trying to move away from the term balanced, because balanced means that the encounter, like, they will be able to overcome the challenge, at least in my head.
It is a satisfying challenge.
Yes. Not that it is, again, milk toast, as you put it, Aiden, or that it is going to be like super difficult necessarily, or that it just needs to be something that they can overcome and that they will have fun doing, right? And it can be easy, hard, medium, whatever the fuck. But balance is like a part of each of those, you know, as a term and as something that you could go for. So, you know, it's like fine as a video. It's inoffensive. It's just, that's it, you know? It doesn't really, I wouldn't really go for it, you know?
Yeah, me neither. If I was trying to learn how to balance, this isn't something I would point somebody to.
Right.
Or if I was trying to teach someone how to balance.
Right. Exactly.
Which, if I'm trying to teach you how to balance, God help you.
So I mean, yeah, it didn't make me upset. That's as much as I can go.
Sterling vote of confidence.
Hey, it's better than a lot of things, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Q Logic on the fair fight thing. Yes, I believe he actually said that in one episode. Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. God, I gotta rewatch Next Gen again soon. Another video? What? No. He just gave us a little outro thing. It's fine. Papa, what happened? I'm not your dad.
He's not.
So it's just mindset, not tips to play. I guess. I mean, it's some tips. Don't get me wrong. There are some in there. It's just, I think we need a lot more explanation, a lot more fleshing out of things. And that Venn diagram, just put the things, you don't need to really, they all coincide together, sure, or they can. I thought there would be like a central point that everything touched, you know? Like you would get to a point that everything like really goes towards, but because that's like what a Venn diagram does. It shows you what everything overlaps with. But
yeah, not like, oh, you need to keep all of these things in account.
Yeah.
Just like, here is where these things blend. Because like when you see a Venn diagram, that like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, you should plan on your players trying to break meta and use IRL and knowledge in your game, I guess.
Yeah, which is a perfectly valid thing to come up with because of the Venn diagram. And like, it's not a bad point, I guess. Like, if your players are dicks. But that's very specific, you know? It's not something that you would give to a general
audience. I'll be
audience.
right back, guys.
Yeah. Just don't base your D&D encounters on Serious Sam. True. Yep. But you can overcome those. It's fine.
That would be pretty great, actually.
It would be. I'm not upset, just meh.
And there's 100 clears. Have fun.
Oh, yeah. I like the shade of pink he used. Yeah, that was nice. I didn't like his choice of looping GIFs. I was getting really tired of the Matrix references. Like, real tired of No Spoon, because there is, and you know there is. It's just that you want to push this, that you don't have to worry about it. So just tell me not to worry about it instead of telling me there is nothing there, because there is something there, and I know something's there. So stop
lying to me.
Yeah, you're lying to me. Stop it. I hate that.
I don't like being lied to.
It's bad.
Especially not about spoons.
That's right. There are spoons, and I have them. They're over there in my kitchen. Anyway, so yeah, that was that video. That was True Sight, I believe, again. Yeah, True Sight. So I don't know. Potentially we'll cover more of True Sight stuff because that was interesting. In concept. So I am interested to see if there are other videos like that are
interesting in substance.
Yes, exactly. More coherent and more interesting in substance. Yes. Yeah, the spoon thing was weird. I don't even like those movies. Hot takes incoming. Hey, that's fine. If you don't like them, that's fine. It's not really that hot of a take to me. I think they're fine. Anyway, I think they should have stopped at the first one. So let's do a bit of a midpoint thing because the next video is a little longer, but not by much. And it's more interesting in its premise. So let me tell you all about things and stuff that do money. Whoa. So first things first. I realized that the like donate link that's supposed to make it so you can donate through the Stream Elements thing that I have and like put a thing on the screen and everything. I forgot to put that anywhere ever. I think I used to have a bot for it or something, but the bot no longer works or lives here in the chat. So it's just in the description now.
Okay.
So there's a thing that you can go to. It's the first link in our For Us links, whatever the fuck. And it is a donate button that you can have a message go through onto the screen during the podcast that will make me look at it, and then I will read it unless you make it so that there's text-to-speech to it, which is over a certain amount, which I will not tell you how much that is, because that is a thing for people to guess if you ever want to. But
it is at least over 100. We know that.
No. No. The only time that
is.
the only time that it happened was when we did get 100 from Con.
That's why I'm saying it is at least over 100.
No. No, it's not over 100. It is at least at the current moment at least 100, sure. But
there we go.
But
I'm not telling them to donate $100. I'm just saying that we've established that if you want the voice to be heard, we know for a fact that you have to do over 100.
Okay. Anyway, so that's a thing.
Yes,
it's the first. It's the first link that says donate directly. It's the Stream Elements link, and it's the tip link that you can donate to us directly through that if you would like to. At least $250, $350. No, it's not that much. I promise you. Anyway, so that is a thing that I have added in that is now available for you to find in the description. And I will make sure to, if somebody donates between streams, I'll make sure to read it as well. If it's still there in my feed. If not, I don't know what to do because Stream Elements, you know. So we'll see. Does it go up when someone gets it? No, it does not. There is no spoon. Me remembering the killer with a slow and inefficient weapon video on YouTube that is now at least 10 years old, and now I feel old. Oh yeah, yup, I remember that video. Anyway, so that's a thing. So you can donate to us directly through Stream Elements if you would like. If you don't want to do directly through PayPal, which is another way that is on our site if you would like. Oh my goodness. So, other than that, of course, you can be like one of these lovely people here and support us through Patreon or through Ko-fi. Up to you. Either is perfectly valid. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a table flipper that gives us money. And so, a big thank you to Draco Kraken, Mog Zero, Rick, aka Unit Rico, Slazer, and Steely in Tier 4. Thank you so much for all of those charitable donations to us. And of course, a thank you to Crimson Rose Armok, aka Lux, in Tier 2. Thanks. Appreciate it. And of course, a final thank you to our Tier 1 contributor. If you go and see, you can read all the tiers and what happens with them. It's basically just supporting us at the moment, so you know. And yeah, little as $1 a month. Do it if you want to, and if you're able to. How come no Tier 3? Because nobody's done Tier 3 as a subscription for a while, and that's fine. They don't have to. It's like $10. That's a lot of money, actually. Anyway. Other than that, go over to our website in the Support Us page, and you can go and find our custom dice that you can still buy through the shop there.
He still got 100 sets.
I still have 99 sets, yes.
He still does. It's not even a joke.
I do. They are. I will not update it until I sell another set. This will continue to say 99 until somebody buys a set. And yeah. So all the links are here for you to support us in whatever ways that you want to financially. Otherwise, you're fine. Go over to TeePublic. The TableTalk 2023 logo for the holidays is still up there. I'm gonna take it down soon, so you can still get the Crimbo Time logo on a article of clothing or whatever you would like through that. Otherwise, we have our logo. And last but not least, of course, we are partnered with Humble Bundle. And any link or anything you buy through that store using the link in our description can support us as well as Tabletop Alliance, who's also linked in our description, so you can find out about their charitable works that they do with tabletop stuff. And anything you buy, whether it be through the store, whether it be a bundle, whether it be the humble choice, you can use that link and get support to us. Which, hey, there's a Call of Cthulhu bundle here.
Ooh.
$25 for 25 things. Hey, $1 a thing.
Nice.
Investigator's Handbook, Keeper Screen, Pulp Cthulhu, The Malleus Monstrorum.
Ooh, that's a good book.
Deadlight and Other Dark Turns. A lot of stuff. The Keeper Rulebook, of course. This is all PDFs that you can get, and I would highly recommend this. I might even get them myself, even though I own some of them. Just to have. So yeah, that's the thing that I would recommend this time around. Okay. So let's move on to the other video. Hold on, let me get this all fixed up and everything. Oh, right, I gotta go over here to do that. Bleh. There we go. Okay, so this second video that I have found is the opposite.
It is the opposite.
It is the opposite. That was one tip. This is
2 tips.
The conversation on
why I stopped balancing my TTRPG encounters.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, this is brought to us by Blurdy Disposition. Just another person that I found while I was looking. Yeah, so this is, I'm going to assume, right, that you haven't stopped. You've just found simpler ways to do it. Like, much simpler ways, or, I don't know. But if it's TTRPG encounters in general, well, here's the thing, man. Balancing a TTRPG encounter for, like I was talking about in the beginning, for something like Vampire is different than balancing something for something like D&D. Completely different systems, completely different combat mechanics, and like I was illustrating with my example, in Vampire, I feel like I can just throw things at people, and, like, they will understand that maybe they should run away, like, more willingly, because it's a lot harder, quote-unquote, and you can die a lot more easily.
Yes. Which is
because
ironic,
of that,
given that you're a vampire. But...
Right. Because of that meta-knowledge, though, because it's a skill system and not necessarily known for the combat, even though combat is a part of it, right? It is a big part of it as well. And also because you can pretty much just do whatever you want to do in that game, and I will just say, oh yeah, roll your dexterity and your athletics if you want to go and try to, like, jump through the fire escape quick enough and nimbly enough that you don't even need to worry about, like, the railings and such, you know? Like, you'll be able to go up it real quick. Or something like that, and then you just go, okay. Or, hey, I want to go and, like, fucking shoot this guy as I dive for cover. And I'd be like, okay.
John Woo.
Yeah, you want to John Woo it? Let's John Woo it. Fucking do it. Firearms and, you know, it depends on what I want you to do at the moment. Maybe wits so that you can make sure that you're accurately targeting everybody and you keep where they are around you in mind.
I don't return.
Welcome back. Or dexterity just to maybe make a good shot against one guy, you know? Like, it really depends on the situation. But for something like D&D, we have, you know, the CR system that we have to constantly struggle with. The randomness is always going to be a factor in any TTRPG system, of course, because dice are involved, or whatever they use to do their randomness, right? Sometimes it could be cards or whatever. And in D&D, you have so many things that are made for the combat system, spells and such that can do different effects, and, like, unknown quantities that you might not necessarily think about in the moment, but your player might, and then they change the battle entirely, which could also happen in something like Vampire as well, if they are creative with what they have. But in Vampire, you do have the powers, but you also have, like, real world shit, so it's a lot easier for you to kind of understand, like, how things work. So all that to say, I don't believe you. So, let's see. That title makes it sound like a rant. Well, you know.
Could be.
The conversation on balance is a constant argument. Go in any forum, Reddit thread, or Google search, and there are loads of conversations in RPG balance, and specifically, combat balance. It's historically been a conversation throughout our TTRPG history, so I, myself, have decided to tackle this issue as well and throw my GM hat into the ring. So, in today's video, we'll be covering why I stopped balancing encounters in tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons. This will go over my personal philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is certainly one of the statements of all time.
In Dungeons & Dragons specifically. Huh.
That's very weird.
Interesting. So again, not to reiterate, but I don't believe you.
Yeah, and let's not even address the fact that essentially, if you're not balancing the encounters, that also means that you would essentially be willing to throw a Tarrasque at your level 1 party. Because if balance doesn't matter, well, just throw whatever you want at it. Doesn't matter.
I don't... Because, like, that's the thing. It's like you found a simple way to do it. You're still balancing encounters. You are. It's just... Maybe you just stopped caring as much, which is like what our first video had.
Yeah.
Which, again, okay, yeah, if it stresses you out too much and you don't need to do that and you found an easy way to deal with it, then fucking hats off. Yeah,
great.
Do it. But
I would like that.
Yeah, but you are still balancing, so here we go.
Yeah.
How I understand balance in tabletop role-playing games, and what might a quote-unquote unbalanced encounter even look like. Also, why I think you can have just as much fun in an unbalanced encounter as long as your approach comes correct.
Yeah.
First off, what do we mean by balance? Because balance...
Very obviously, you can have a lot of fun in an unbalanced encounter.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, friendos, I'm going to do a one-shot.
Yeah.
It's at 15th level. Make some busted shit because I'm going to bring busted shit.
Yeah, totally.
They would most TTRPG players would eat that up because we spend so long focusing on balance.
Yeah. If you can just let loose and not give a shit, then yeah, it's freeing in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally like going to school every day and doing one thing, but then just one day saying like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a lawyer now.
Yeah.
Like, you may not be good at it, but it's new and novel and kind of thrilling.
Yeah, no, exactly. Wall of Force, let's go. Does YouTube not want me to say Tarrasque now? Did it block Tarrasque?
Probably because it has ASS in the name.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It's ASQ.
Yeah.
It only has one S.
It only has one. At least the way that I see it being spelled right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Or run away, maybe? Oh. Well, you keep experimenting, Lux. Tell us more about how YouTube censors free speech.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, I'm not wrong, first off.
It's true.
No, you're not.
Oh, I got busted stuff. Must I show you my copper great worm? Well, yeah, exactly. Like, but okay. So I guess I need to. I'm glad that he's going to tell me what he means by balance. I also need to understand what he means by correct. Having a fun doing a unbalanced encounter in the correct way. That is something that I might I need some clarification on. So
would depend technically on the tabletop role-playing game.
Oh.
In 5e, that would be the challenge rating. In other games,
it's an attempt. Certainly,
it is an attempt.
It is an attempt.
Certainly.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
The challenge rating. In other games, it might be the player to monster ratio, or it could be having a group of characters that can tackle several problems for their game. So when I think of balance, I separate it into 2 subsections. First is character balance. This means no one character can hog all of the limelight. Thus all classes, races, features, occupations, abilities, and skills are comparable in usefulness and utility to the game. Secondly is encounter balance. It's when an encounter, i.e. combat, adventure, investigation, or etc., is interesting and provides multiple avenues to resolving conflict. And I'm sure you might be thinking, that definition is hella wordy. Can't it just be more simple? And no, because RPGs are an art, not a science. Things are up for interpretation, especially when talking about philosophy and our perceptions in role-playing games.
I are here.
Why?
I agree to a point.
Yeah.
But why are we here?
I don't know. I don't know why I keep subjecting us to.
Yeah, this is your fault. This is your
my fault. Why? Why do all these people gotta make me look like a fucking weirdo?
So okay, I need to bring it back to this. Okay. This is true. Characters that don't steal large amounts of attention from other characters, sure.
Sure.
You want to make it so that you don't necessarily, as long as this is the intention of the game, have one character above all the rest in importance. Though, there are games that you could run where you have one character that is the chosen one, quote unquote, or has some special purpose, you know?
At least for a time. Hopefully that's not the entire thing.
Well,
because that would kind of suck to play second fiddle to another character for the whole game.
So even if they are the entire way, they are the character, right? You can still make it just as important for the other characters to be there because of their actions and deeds, right?
It's true.
And because they are with the other person as well, which could lead to some character conflict, you know.
You know, Boris was designed to be just a supporter character.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
he was supposed to be Mez's little guy.
I wanted him to literally his whole thing was I support Mez.
Yep.
Let's do a little of everything. I'll sneak in and specialize in infiltration, I guess. So then that way Mez can stay safe and won't have to go into super dangerous places like cut off from potential support. He can like pick locks, do the fucking a little of everything. He just happened to become the anime character that he is.
Yes, exactly.
Because we are the
because we are the players that we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more that because fucking we're all gonna find a unique way to express ourselves more than what we started out as, right?
It's true. But then again, you guys tend to be better players. And you guys are able to do that. Some players aren't able to do that on occasion.
That's fair.
And so it's more so like, oh, damn it. My character or this other character is literally the main character, and I'm just following him around. It's more so that I'm more concerned about.
That can definitely happen, and that's why I think that, as with all things, it's just one of those, you have to try to be cognizant of that if you're going to run something like that. Just to make it so that people don't feel that way.
And I mean, hell, I've effectively done that in this campaign because kind of sort of the main character was Mexnir, really.
Yeah.
It's just that you guys did all the legwork, so you guys were still the active people. He was never coming out and saving your ass.
Right.
But a lot of the events of the scenario kind of revolve around him. He was kind of the beginning of it. He was an important character all the way through.
Exactly.
It's just, you guys had the spotlight for essentially the entire time.
Exactly. And that's the perfect way to do it. Like, I think it worked out really well so that we, like you said, he is the main character, but we are still important to the story. Like, and we are kind of reason why he can continue to be the main character.
Exactly. You are the supporting cast in the best way possible.
Exactly. So this is a good thing to do for sure.
Game. Secondly, is encounter balance. It's when an encounter, i.e. combat, adventure, investigation, or etc., is interesting and provides multiple avenues to resolving conflict.
So, yes, this is
Yeah.
like every TTRPG ever. And I'm glad that you have it as a separate thing, because these are two different like aspects. Though, well, I guess, yeah, never mind. That wasn't anything. But, I'm wondering, I guess, I'm wondering how both of these are now things that he doesn't need to balance anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, the first one seems like something you have to just do inherently, right? Making sure that you give people the time of day and making sure that they feel as important as everybody else, giving them their own arcs or whatever you want to do, however you want it to happen. You are still going to be actively like making these scenarios that they go through. So you're still balancing in that way.
Yeah.
And then these encounters, like actual encounters, I guess you just, maybe you do what we've talked about before of like, you set the puzzle in front of them and you don't have a concrete, this is how it should, be solved.
Yeah. Except that doesn't have anything to do with balance.
Well, yeah.
Right?
to a degree, right? It does in a way of like, you just have to make sure that they will get it.
Yeah, that's not balance. It's just putting faith in their general intelligence and their abilities.
I suppose, yeah.
Right? Like
I suppose. And maybe it's more the design of the puzzle to make sure that it is be able to be solved by whatever they can do. That's probably,
or at least to put out enough possible solutions, or just being willing to be like, yeah, I can accept that.
Right, exactly.
As a solution.
Yeah. So, and then with the combat and stuff, like, it's pretty obvious of make sure that, you know, they can do whatever the fuck they want, because it's the game.
Yep.
So, okay. Oh, Lux wrote it out line by bit by bit. It might be fun to run away from a Tarrasque at level 1.
Oh
yes.
my god.
No.
Yeah, no, honestly, that would be really interesting to have like you're literally playing the human characters in a fucking Godzilla movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Or have like a level 20 one shot, but the people doing like the cool things of like the cool people doing the cool level 20 party is not like your players.
Oh yeah.
So like they're just average people in a town. Meanwhile, that town is getting attacked by fucking Tiamat, and they're like,
"Oh my god,
we're level 1."
Yeah, exactly.
This is bullshit.
Just like people are at like a bakery. It's a nice calm day. Then fucking lightning strikes, and Tiamat's in the center of the city, and people are fucking flying around her heads.
Yep, exactly. Who knew balance was such a big mindset problem? I think it's I don't know. I mean, it is definitely a challenge. It's something that's equal parts mindset and equal parts like work, or something you have to work at. But yeah, I don't know. It's something that we will continue to see is something that is complained about and people will try to give like answers to easier ways to do it, which I'm all for, because not everything's going to work for everyone, and the sharing of that kind of knowledge of like, this worked for me, maybe it'll work for you, is like good. Want to be the chosen one? Yeah, cool. So the name of the game is Tales of Fuck.
Yeah, right. Yikes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you might be thinking, that definition is hella wordy. Can't it just be more simple? And no, because
yeah, I wanted to talk about this as well.
Yeah.
So, I understand people want things to be really simple and all that, but I appreciate that you are saying no, you actually like need to think about this, and like it needs to be explained as much as possible. Like that's important to this.
Yes, it is.
So thank you.
For fuck's sake, not everybody wants to be the TikTok person. And like, oh my god, if it's not in one sentence, I've already forgotten it. Christ.
RPGs are an art, not a science. Things are up for interpretation, especially when talking about philosophy and our perceptions in role-playing games. So I think balance lives and dies by the story and the GM and players craft that together. This balance is thus informed by the mechanics or lack thereof in the game. That means, and this is always paramount in all role-playing games, communication is key.
Okay, whoa, hey, yeah, hey, whoa, good, okay. You lost me at the philosophy bit a little bit because I wasn't understanding entirely, but now that I've let you go and everything, now I get you. Okay, we're good.
Balance, as you could have gleaned, is not just combat. Even if combat is a main part of the game, balance can come in so many forms. Investigation, adventuring, social guys, and combining all those.
It's like one of the least intrusive things, though he had the clicking sound effect included, which
the little bell ting.
Yeah, exactly. So like that made it more intrusive, and so I hate it. But when I see just the thing pop up and I see the thing click without me hearing a mouse, then I'm fine with it, or a bell. Yeah. I'm fine with it. But I thought somebody clicked and like it wasn't me, and so I like looked over and such, and I was like, what the fuck? So anyway,
together into your tabletop role-playing game. Thus, an unbalanced encounter can likely be contributed by these two reasons. 1. A narrow definition of balance. For example, calculating a balanced encounter in 5e CR calculator can generate a balanced encounter, but that same encounter can be both super difficult or super...
Why? Okay, sorry, this is video construction criticism at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
Why the fuck did you put a Discord ad thing? Is it supposed to continue from the communication point? You're past that, man. I didn't. I was completely confused as to why I was looking at that. When you're at the communication point, that's when you put the communication symbol or whatever that you want, not the wrench that you had. Like, it's just, you want me to think about the thing that you're saying. You tie the visual to what you are saying, not do it after, like a couple of seconds after when you're on the next bit. I'm sorry. It's not a good idea to do.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even when I'm playing a fucking fast-paced shooter, and even I stop to be like, what the fuck am I looking at, and why?
Yeah.
No, it's terrible.
I'm typing out a recipe to a friend, and like...
I'm actively doing my taxes. I'm recording the nuclear launch code.
Kind of now just looking at the screen confused.
We have all walks of life represented. Then I'm completely
tax doers.
I'm completely paying attention. Like. It's just, oh my god. Okay. Anyway, so aside from that, what narrow definition of balance? That's what we're at. Please tell me about this.
Encounter in 5e CR calculator can generate a balanced encounter, but that same encounter can be both super difficult or super easy depending on variables like magic items in player knowledge.
It's so quickly done.
I know. And then we go into this, and it's like, this is more the fantasy thing, which ties to what you're saying, but like, what the fuck was that before? Stop it. You know? Anyway, okay, so I agree so far of CR doesn't take into account of magic items and all that shit. Good. Keep spreading that. Yes.
Secondly, not providing a variety of encounters with multiple solutions to the problem. Encounters can and should be dynamic. Just like in real life, there's no one solution to a problem. While games will lean to certain solutions due to mechanics, having multiple options will allow for two things: a diversity in terms of solutions, and every character being able to contribute without feeling weaker or under.
This is kinda what I do with my encounters.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a big focus on terrain.
Oh, sure.
Because I realized when I was playing Dark Souls 3 one day that if you manage to get an enemy aggroed onto you and you lead them into a different area, you can absolutely trivialize them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, the terrain really affects how combat plays out. And I was like, oh fuck, I should make players have to think around a pit in the center of the terrain that is on fire, and someone is I don't know, hoisted on a pyre in the middle.
Sure, yeah.
Someone's wasted on a pyre? What?
Yes.
Not
hoisted.
Hoisted on a pyre.
I said wasted.
No.
But yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great way for it, for sure.
It's only tangentially related to giving players different avenues to solve, I guess, combat
encounters in general.
Yeah, but my players removing water on the river.
Yep.
It is a blend of terrain and this.
Yes. So just before we go too far away from it, the narrow view of balance being an issue. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's a great thing to put as a problem. Because most people that I know, or I know of, or have known, have used CR. And go by CR until they figure out, oh, CR ain't so good.
Yeah, CR kind of shit.
And it will pigeonhole you into things and have encounters be either more or less I guess what you want because of it at times. And then you have to start, figuring out, oh, wait, you have to figure out around how the CR system works and figure out around the monsters themselves instead, right? At least for D&D, and probably Pathfinder as well. So great thing to bring up. Again, like I said, keep propagating it. People will learn at some point. Maybe we'll see. And maybe even WotC will see somebody say, "Oh, CR system kind of sucks. Maybe we should fix that."
Yeah.
But that'll never happen. So,
no.
So
if this year has been any indication,
that's right. Yeah,
I think they would rather commit Sudoku than do anything that we say.
That's right. Now this point of making it so that your encounters have multiple solutions is just good advice in general. Like we were saying before, the willingness to allow it is more what you want than necessarily needing to come up with multiple different solutions in general, because as long as it works out for you in your brain and works out for them in their brain, you're pretty much, you're golden. You're fucking fine. Even I've had it where, how Acid Splash in 5e doesn't actually technically break things. It doesn't, it does acid damage, but it's not supposed to technically break locks or whatever, but I've used it in that way in some games, because it's but it's acid. It's an acid that I'm spitting at, so not spitting necessarily, but I'm throwing a thing of acid.
And it's doing a lot of acid damage to the thing that it hits, so clearly it's burning and melting.
Exactly. Like, it's just trying to find different ways to apply that kind of, or apply everything that you have. And it's something that, you know, just because the rules say, well, you can't actually do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you can't think about it in your head and go, but I'm throwing acid.
Yeah.
But like, I'm actually like, this is dangerous what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. And then you start thinking about it and you go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's good to do it's good to do that for your encounters for sure. I think it's just a thing in general that you should have in your mindset for every TTRPG in any situation in general. You should be open to everything changing because somebody wants to do something unconventional. You know, doesn't matter if it's the story itself, doesn't matter if it's the encounters, doesn't matter whatever the fuck it is. Like, you just need to be open to it because it's a free flowing narrative that, you know, we're all a part of, and it's not going to go exactly as you think ever.
You know, sorry, this is like a real non sequitur.
Sure.
But I really just realized something when you were talking about like acid not like technically damaging things.
Right.
The auras of like courage, like wrath, like whatever that like paladins get.
Yes.
They never mention the creature itself, only that they affect creatures within a radius around them.
Yes.
So if you were to do like a creature that is like horrible, big, scary, and make it have both a fear and a flee effect,
yes,
you can cause the paladin to flee and take his aura with him, and then subsequently make the entire party feared.
I think it's worded specifically to include the paladin, though, in the sense of all creatures inside the aura, because the paladin is technically also in the aura. It just originates from him out.
Aura.
I think, because otherwise, yes, that would happen, like, all the time. I could be wrong though. But I remember that coming up at some point and like looking into it.
No, it says you and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you.
Okay, yeah. So it is in there. Yeah, that is a weird D4. Yes, the number on the bottom is supposed to be the result. That's usually how D4s are a lot of the time, though I have seen them where it's the opposite, where the thing on the top is the result.
I have both styles.
Yeah,
same. That's the majority of mine. Ones that are result is on the top.
Yeah. Usually the numbers on the corners, so the ones that come up on the top is the result. Yeah, exactly. Apparently that's an old school D4 in this case. I would say that technology has advanced. True.
Yeah.
Valued. But I'm getting ahead of myself just a bit. Let's roll back to our discussion on a narrow definition of balance. We need to do more than believe balance to be only combat, because that narrow definition is limiting the gaming experience. Balance, or lack thereof, should include venturing, investigation, and social encounters to name a few. In each of these respective encounters, they can utilize player resources and should allow for all players to contribute.
Hey, Tales of Destiny.
For instance, while the players are investigating and navigating the politics of the city's monarchy, they need to get into an invite-only upper echelon party. This encounter is perfect for the socialite and can be balanced around the players' weaknesses and strengths. Maybe the bruiser type character can watch guard, while the intellectual could spend their time studying on the history or famous/key NPCs at the party to inform the socialite. So consider your ideas of balance and how the game pushes some mechanics forward. A game with lots of combat is suggesting you to put combat balance as a priority. Specific ways to do that and also include homebrew as needed. Likewise, switch over to a system that might have a robust mechanics or a GM that might accommodate players wanting a particular experience. Overall, just expanding your horizons can help you stop worrying about whether this encounter is balanced or not.
I don't know. I think that's kind of a big thing to ask, because it's like, the rules in this TTRPG that we all enjoy playing aren't really all that fleshed out for blank. Guess we better switch systems.
Like, I'm all about playing other things for sure.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Trying other things, but like, it's more because I want to have tastes of each of the different systems, and I want to experience them, and like some things do things better than others for sure.
Yeah.
If it is literally that you playing D&D or something isn't giving you what you want, and you want to switch systems because of that, go for it. Absolutely. I don't understand the correlation between balance, and switching. I like before.
And I mean, hell, that's still not even really a balance thing. That is, here's a situation, go, and then the players decide to do what they decide to play their characters how they would be played.
Right. Yeah, in the example that he gave, the social situation that they need to get into the upper echelon party, yes. That's, yeah, everybody does whatever they want to do that's specialized to them, or they could try whatever the fuck they want to. They could try having the bruiser guy try to talk his way in. Like, it really depends on what the players want to do. I don't understand. Is this new? That players are gonna have their characters act in the ways that are like strongest to them, or technically weakest, I suppose. They're gonna have them act in whatever ways to get through each situation.
Maybe to him?
I don't think so. No.
Right?
Right? Like, I don't know. Who are we? Are we talking to new people again?
Yeah, who are we talking to?
Are we if we are talking to brand new, off the boat, they've never fucking played a TTRPG, then yeah, I agree. That they need to know this, that you can do whatever you want, however you want, in whatever situation you want.
And you can have a character that's not exactly tailor-made for a situation.
Yeah.
You can find a niche in it.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the balance aspect is to create the situation and make it so that they're allowed to do that,
I guess.
Which, yeah, it's the same thing as just let them do what they want, and if it works out in your brain and it works out in their brain, then you're fucking golden. And they can try it, and then you let the dice fall as they may.
Yeah.
So, okay. But this about switching to achieve more balance, or sorry, switching to not worry about balance, I'm lost.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lux said, I was starting to freak out that I've been running paladins wrong for years. No, you're good. Yeah, okay. Oh.
To add, consider the logic of the encounter. If your adventurers are wandering a densely packed city and they encounter a Zorn all of a sudden, just casually running around there, then it doesn't make any sense. And even if it is a balanced encounter for their fictional CR,
but what if you make it make sense? Oh, you might say that. You might say it.
Merchant.
Yeah, he might talk about it. Hold on.
our level in this game, it doesn't make sense and shouldn't be included. So consider the logic of the encounter as well as the goals of the characters when crafting that encounter.
Yeah, okay. That's at least that's enough for me to say. Then you said it. You're fine.
I remember one encounter where the party encountered a mind flayer in the middle of town at like level 6.
Oh my god.
And the party were all like, hey, what are you doing here? And he was like, brother, don't be fucking racist.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Exactly.
So wait a minute, was it a mind flayer or was it a sleeper? Because mind flayers don't exist in Elder Scrolls.
Different campaign.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, like he just like immediately started putting like like all you people in your like gated communities,
Right.
like, and like they the party all backed up and they're like, all right, perhaps we got off on a wrong foot. We're sorry about our cleric.
That's right. Throw him under the bus.
Yeah. Because like they ran into the illithid like outside a bookshop and they were in town looking for someone. And the only clue that they got was you'll know him when you see him.
Gotcha. Okay.
So and so naturally he's like, what, you'll know me when you see me?
Wow.
Wow, yeah, I see how it is.
That's awesome. That's so good.
But like he was actually somewhat helpful because like he knew they were looking for a giant. And he knew like who they were talking about. But he was like, you know what? No, I'm going to be cryptic as fuck because like I'm interpreting this in the worst possible way.
Fair enough. Zorns are cool, yes.
Yeah, there.
Knowing the difference between a Zorn and an OTUG could save your life. Yes. True.
And the goals of the monsters as well. On to point number 2. Variety to problems and solutions. You're going to need a variety of problems as well as solutions when players get into encounters. Prior, I used to over-prep for encounters and or situations. I often thought I needed to balance everything. Every problem needed several written out solutions. Every battle needed multiple avenues that ranged from very hard to super easy. Cities needed several NPCs with various backstories, and several plot hooks. Well, I say, throw away all that bullcrap. Instead of trying to predict 100 plus options, worry about the now and prepare for the immediate.
That's not balance.
It's not necessarily. I mean, so in the specific points of making sure that there's those options and stuff, I suppose it's balance. And I'm glad that you learned to not freak out too much about them, because that's important. Yeah. Fucking. Can I just say that I despise that nerd face emoji? That's fair, Lux. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know how I achieve that by switching systems. First off, I'm still hung up on that. I don't understand that. But I, like we talked about before, I agree that you can make these problems and not have a concrete solution and make it so that they will figure it out however they figure it out, right? As long as it makes sense. But I also want to say, hey, if you want to figure out a bunch of concrete things, a bunch of plot hooks and all of that go fucking for it, man. Go hog wild, okay? Like, it's up to you how much effort you want to put into all of that. Just as long as you know that you might burn out from it, of course. You got to know your own limits. The plot hook thing is the weird thing to me. Cause I don't understand how that pertains to being balanced. Maybe I just want to come up with a bunch of things that are neat. And then if anything organically happens, then it does. But like, I have these other things just in case. to bring them into certain things that I was like, oh, this is a neat thing. Maybe they'll like it, you know? Like, as somebody who does more open worldy kind of stuff and really relies on the characters wanting to do things themselves and kind of going with that, before really putting into effect an overarching plot or something, or, you know, putting that into what they're doing. I would want to have interesting things, you know, that they could just find. Not like 100 of them or anything like that, and I understand that's hyperbole, but at the same time, like, I could, because it's a whole world out there, you know? Yeah. But I agree with the sentiment of don't stress yourself out to the point of it being, like, real bad for you when you're trying to prep, I guess.
Or if you really are hung up on wanting all that stuff, just do it before you start your game.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Take the time way in advance, sure.
Yeah.
But again, remember to be flexible with it, because it's not all going to be going exactly how you want.
For instance, you're playing a Star Wars campaign where you're playing mercenaries and scoundrels of the Outer Rim.
Sure.
Your job is to find the bounty of a hotshot crime lord who's been hiding out in this seedy city.
That sounds cool.
You all approach a cantina, knowing you can gather information there. This situation can be approached in so many different ways as a player and the GM, if you will it. Maybe a player can hack into a computer terminal on the cantina to track all the people who have visited in the past month.
Right.
Another player could talk to the people in the cantina and meet an informant. Another player could threaten maybe some of the local grunts that might be working for the crime lord. In this example, you don't need to think of 100+ examples. Just present the encounter and some general NPCs that would make sense to be there. Let the logic make sense in relation to the story of the game.
It
The players can choose how to approach that situation after all, so just let them approach it. And if the players need help, you can ask them if they need any suggestions.
Actually, I can kind of see it as balance.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a way of balancing your campaign's difficulty, not the encounter.
How are having multiple solutions in how is that related to the campaign's difficulty? I'm just confused.
By saying like, hey, DMs, don't be afraid to think on your feet, and allow players to come up with I don't know, dude. I'm fucking trying.
Hey, fine. Hey, and I'm not like, what the fuck you talk about? It's not like that.
No. So what I'm thinking is, hold on. I need to hear what.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, we can absolutely drag it back.
Players can choose how to approach that situation after all, so just let them approach it. And if the players need help, you can ask them if they need any suggestions. So is balance necessary?
So he's saying, like, just to let players kinda come up with some solution. So I think he's saying, like, with the cantina example, I think, doesn't he say that, like, the players come up with that?
Well, so yeah,
and go like, oh, maybe we can take this from the cantina.
right?
And it's the DM doing what Boo does a lot in our, like, D&D game, and saying, you know what, yeah, I could see that working, go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then saying that solves the issue in your campaign.
I'm confused again as to, are we talking to brand new people again? Is that this video? Is this about, because I don't think it is, because this is supposed to be, oh, I was in your shoes. You are stressing out so much. Maybe make it so that you rely on your players more. But hasn't that always been a thing that you can do and people know about? Like, it's the same thing as before of, if the characters have like specialties or whatever, they want to do that, and if you put them in a scenario, they'll probably gravitate towards those.
Yeah, they'll probably leverage their specialty towards what they want to do in that scenario.
And I'm not thinking of this as just an overall balance of your game. I'm just thinking of it as running a game.
Yeah, this is just kind of like a very, very basic encounter. Like, you need to do the thing. Go.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it, well, again, as somebody who likes to do open world stuff, it seems exactly like what I would do, of just, and which is good in my head, right? Because it's like, I want, like, fucking what we've been doing, right? What we did last Sunday. I've run these guys through a little Delta Green thing, and
it was fucky, but yeah. For me, not for him.
No, it was great. It was so good. I was so happy with it. But
you were happy. I'm worried.
And I'm glad. That makes me happy because I've provoked that reaction from you.
Yeah, it's
from
great.
Your actions.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
Awful. Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. But like, I put these guys in scenarios, and basically I've given them the information that they've asked for. And whatever else comes to mind, they will ask me in the game somehow, right? And I will give it to them, and they'll figure these things out by trying to figure out how to proceed in their investigation, right? And like they figured out how to open up a password on a laptop without me having to do too much because I gave them context clues. Fucking like, you know, you went to go do that, Boo, and Aiden went to just be with the family as they were, you know, waiting for more of the family to show up and everything, right? And like, but that was just something you wanted your character to do, and I've not prompted you to necessarily do any of these things specifically. But that's just how it works. Yeah. You know?
My character realized, Boo's character is probably going off and doing things and being an investigator, man.
Yeah.
I should run interference.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you guys naturally did that. And, like, I guess if you have newer people who don't pick up on that kind of stuff, then it might be more of a problem, maybe. But at the same time, I think that people understand when they are, especially in an open game where you don't, like, you know, shuffle somebody over to another room when they're in another room and everything. Especially in that kind of setting, like, they'll understand, like, that some people are doing something and they might try to help or harm depending on what it is, right? Naturally. And I just don't understand how this is new.
Yeah, it's not.
It's really not, but I guess I don't know.
Who are we talking to?
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Because he is presenting it in a way that does not imply noobishness. Yeah,
exactly. But it works the best for new people. Like this advice. Which I'm totally fine with this so far. Like, this is good stuff in general to know as a new player or a new DM or whatever in general. This is a good video so far.
Yeah, it's just kind of
I'm muddled.
Super related to balance.
Yeah, I'm muddled. That's all.
Yeah.
Going free flow is good, but is that really balance? Well, I don't know anymore. I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with any of these things being put out. Nothing here is offensive or stupid or bad or nothing. It's all fine. It's all just good. Not balance.
There is parts of it that are definitely more balanced than others. Like,
it's true.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the overall feel that you want to go for of a balanced game.
Maybe. Because, like, when I think of balance, like, when I say, how do I balance a thing in an RPG? I don't think, how do I balance a social encounter? That does not even occur to me.
Right.
Because that is something that just comes naturally.
Right.
Like, if I'm in a social encounter, I probably have a reason to be there. I have the context of what's going on in the encounter. So I don't really have any need. There's no balance required. You're just in a social encounter.
Right. It doesn't seem like, because and again he was going over this before of like, broaden your view of what balance is, and I'm trying, but I don't see how I need to balance a social encounter. Like, I don't see how me understanding that I am talking to somebody or some people or in some sort of situation where there are a bunch of people that I can talk to, and not knowing that I have whatever I do, whatever I say will have consequences, like that is it. It's not anything to do with the GM making sure that I don't know, there's an easy escape out of this, or making certain that, because like
try to find ways of creating a scene that doesn't lead to a TPK being probable.
Right, yeah. There's nothing like that, right? Which is why balance is usually saved for the combat encounters, because that's where it matters.
Yeah, that's where you can die, usually.
Exactly. And to be fair, you could die in a social encounter if you say the wrong things to the wrong people. But it's not the same.
It's really not. Because in a social let's think of it this way. If you were to be in a dangerous social encounter, that usually implies, ironically, even more danger than being in combat, because you're usually not in a position to defend yourself meaningfully. Because if you are in a social encounter where you could die, that most likely means that someone has you dead to rights, and the only way out of it is your ability to talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in a combat, you're ironically safer. So there's not really a need to balance what will probably wind up being an instant death if you even somehow wind up in that position.
Because, I guess the only way that I could see that being more balanced, quote unquote, is that you left enough clues to make it so that they have a chance to get out of that situation easier. Because they know things about the person that's confronting them, right? Or people,
or they
whatever.
Know something about the location or something.
Exactly, right? Like, that's the only way that I could really see that happening. But again, it feels like, well, if you didn't care enough to talk to people about this thing, and notice, I suppose, that this situation could be a result of what you've been doing, then it's like, because like
more on you.
Yeah, like in the moment,
you're talking to the mob boss in his hideout,
Right. In the moment, for a location specific stuff, you might never have been able to go there until you got brought there, and then you have to just take note of everything around you, and then it's like, okay, well, I'll describe everything, and so you have to figure it out from there, right? About the mob boss, you might know general information, and if he's a target or something, or if he's involved in the investigation, which he probably is, because he's now, like, if
he's now a character.
If this scenario were to happen, it's probably that logical that he was a part of it in general, so you might have already learned stuff about him, like, that's part of the scenario. And if you miss some stuff, well, you missed some stuff, at least in my book. As long as it's the necessary things that you have given them that gets you to be able to go through the situation, then that's fine. Like, you're good.
It would more so be you forgot to mention like an important detail, and that is actually on you. Like, they were supposed to have gotten it, and through your mistake.
Yes.
Exactly. That's when that comes up.
Exactly. So yeah,
it's weird.
I don't know.
It's all good stuff, but
it's all good. Yes.
It's a weird video to have it in.
Let's see. It might depend on the puzzle you're letting your players solve. I mean, it could, I suppose. I would love to see Aiden in a mob movie. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Aiden, there you go.
I was nearly in one, actually.
The Godfather.
Yeah, it was called the Koopa Cabana.
That's right. That's right. It wasn't going to be a movie, it was going to be a series. and I still have all this stuff for it.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. I'm not even a level 1 PC in real life, and I don't have money either, so how am I supposed to take over the world? I feel like this is a really unbalanced campaign I'm in. True. Getting info from a guy at the bar, level 1. Getting info from a skilled spy, level 10. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Dude, I really just want to take the chance to point out, that orc minifigure is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's really good with the
Yeah,
fucking weird gun and shit. It's cool.
Yeah, his fucking
It's like a harpoon
foot.
gun, honestly.
Yeah,
That like metal armored foot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Got the random boot.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, got a fucking traffic cone on his shoulder because I don't know, fuck it.
Oh yeah, that's fucking cool. It's maybe like oh, you know what? Maybe it's not an orc. Maybe it's a super mutant.
That'd be cool.
Oh, maybe.
So, is balance necessary? Maybe. There is nothing wrong with an unbalanced encounter or your own idea of a balanced encounter. Those terms have fluidity and will mean a lot of different things to a lot of players and GMs. It is thus best to talk and establish what that might look like for everyone at the table. And this is especially important.
That guy taking a fucking knee on the scale to the left.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah.
But
like fucking Captain America, just kind of like looking at the oncoming army and then just kind of strikes a pose with the rest of the Avengers crew while everyone else fires off like laser beams.
This is getting weird.
Yep.
He's talking about you finding your own balance and such, and it's like, okay, so do you mean, and you're saying that it's fluid between people, and I get that, but what I am more interested in is you having balance for your table, rather than you having your own personal balance for each encounter, you know?
For your own spirit and life.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's,
I know.
You know, but like,
spiritual balance and chakra balance and all that.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
I just don't.
Like for everyone at the table. And this is especially important if your players and GMs are veterans already familiar with tabletop role-playing games. Whereas if they're not familiar with TTRPGs, use logic. Don't throw an adult red dragon in a level 3 party in 5e without warning of the major danger that can cause. If you're going to do this, tell them severity. Show them the severity of their actions.
I agree.
What will happen if they fail.
Yeah?
Logic should be the key thing we take away from when we're balancing encounters.
I'm 100% with you. So you balance things, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, you're what the fuck?
So you balance things, is what you're telling me. You lied to me.
Indeed.
Which is fine, because you're saying good things, but I don't like being lied to still.
Yeah.
I just...
Fucking...
Okay.
This is so weird.
Yes, use logic, make things consistent. It's the same thing. Like, balance. Yeah, just balance things. Yeah.
Just balance stuff. Christ.
Okay.
Here we are.
The party, I think, should enter encounters with a wide variety of strong, weak, big, and all sorts of enemies and opponents.
Yes.
And obstacles. Not every encounter may be something they are equipped to handle. Establish that fundamental, and I think the question of balance goes from a matter of how to win the game, and rather to creating encounters that are fun, engaging, and allow all players to shine.
I just don't want to kill my players in combat. Can you tell me how to do that, please?
Well, so...
That's all I want.
I agree that we should do this.
Yes.
It never changes the term balance at all.
It really doesn't.
It just, it's still the same thing. I just want them to have a good time and be able to confront and overcome the challenge.
And I just don't want to kill people with 2 goblins at level 1 in an arena.
Exactly.
That's all I want, my guy.
No.
Please.
I'm glad. I'm glad you've told yourself that you stopped balancing things. I guess because it seems like you're doing it great. Okay.
Yeah, if that makes you feel better, great. Good.
Like
awesome.
No, it's not even that. It's just that you are balancing things in a way that works well for you and your table, and that sounds awesome. I'm glad for you that you've now convinced yourself that balance doesn't exist or doesn't matter anymore. Great.
In fairness to you, Boo, you killed off two like using two goblins in an arena.
Yeah.
Who you killed off was a melee character, and the goblins were in melee.
It's true.
You kind of did what you could.
Yeah,
it's very true.
It's true.
Like he was the melee boy, and he still nearly died.
It was
so
pretty
like,
great.
yikes.
Just is he aiming a gun? It's kind of small for me. It was a crossbow. It looked like it, at least to me. Now chakra balance, I'm used to that. Hell yeah, there you go. I think balance and fairness are mixed up here. I don't even, like, fairness isn't even a part of it either, because he's saying also that having it being an unfair encounter is fine, which I agree with. Yeah. I agree with entirely. Like, you can have things.
There are times when you need to have that. Like, you know, like you need to demonstrate a point. You need to demonstrate that a character is either powerful or weak or whatever.
Yeah, and he even said you have to make sure that you signpost that shit for the players, which I'm 100% like, yeah, good. I'm glad you said that. So many
That's
people
extremely useful.
Yeah, so many people need to say that more, for sure. This is great. Yeah. All of this advice is great.
I had an encounter in Devils and Dice where they were not supposed to fight a guy because the way I fucking did that was I had them fight 3 enemies. And then after they fought those 3, 1,000 showed up.
That's
and
right.
were like just around them. And the big bad was like, I'm evil. Here's my fucking, I'm doing this.
Yes.
And I want to fight you later because I want to let you ripen and become powerful enough to actually fucking, you know, pose a challenge because I'm fucking bored.
Don't like the ripen usage,
but
I know.
Yes. Actually, that was actually, I think that was a reference to Hunter x Hunter, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't like that either.
Yeah, no, it's very fucked.
Anyway.
Yep.
But yes,
Moving
that's
on.
true. That's true.
Fuck that anime though, by the way. I don't like it.
How to balance get good. That's right. Players might think it's unfair even when it's balanced. Well, that's true as well.
That's also true.
It's just it depends on how the dice roll sometimes, you know? And like honestly, usually if that were to happen of like the dice roll really bad and everything feels real bad, then usually I go, guys, fuck.
I'm
like,
sorry, man.
That's crazy. Fucking when I killed Colungo, God, I felt so bad. God, I felt so fucking bad, but I swear, and it was divine from the heavens.
It was.
Fucking disadvantage, double fucking nat 20s. There was nothing I could do.
Yeah, no, like, I will usually be friendly if you're having a string of bad luck or you're having a bad night.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be like, this is a string of bad luck. That is not, he's playing well.
Right.
Yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
I want to take pity. If that happens, fuck, dude, the gods have spoken.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There was nothing
I do not
I
intend
could do.
to fucking, like,
it was fucked up.
Colungo, additionally, was a character that was meant to die.
Yes, 100%.
Like, the gods, like, spurned Colungo.
Yeah,
it was
when
like,
he was being made.
You, and then you guys were like, no, fuck you. We're keeping him alive. And then the gods spoke.
Yeah.
That was the other part, because we're like, no, he needs to suffer. Fuck this.
It was amazing.
We know this character and shit. He became a meme.
I hauled him out of a forest fire
Yes.
on my back, except for he had none of his stuff.
None of his gear.
Yeah, it's like, hey, did you get my
as
stuff?
his joke.
What stuff?
Yeah, because he's like, oh, cool, I guess I'll throw a javelin. And then I, like, spoke up and I was like, oh, what javelin do you have? He's like, oh, no, I have, like, 8 javelins. Oh, no, I said I brought you.
Yeah.
How?
He was very specific.
It was really, it was supremely fucked, and it was hilarious.
It was amazing.
Brother, I only had enough strength to lift you, not your gear.
Your dead weight ass. You're welcome.
Do you want us both to die?
It was true. It was fucking
Yes,
true.
I still have my gear.
I made that calculation myself. It was a calculated risk.
Yeah. I made a calculated risk. Too bad I'm shit at math.
It was great. But yeah,
It was great.
anyway. All right.
And then the gods were like, no, he will die.
He will die. He was meant to die before. You've delayed it for now, but these fucking wargs, it's time.
It is. He is done.
I
Jesus
tried
Christ.
to protect him.
It was
Yup.
amazing. It was
And
so
he,
good.
at that point, he was just like, guys, please just let me die.
It's
He knew exactly what was
true.
fucking going on.
And you guys actively were like, no, he will live. He has to live.
Because I remember Brogan had to leave early that night, and he was like, oh, well, my character said I'll just make a new character at the start of next session.
That's right.
So he had a new character prepared, and I was like, oh, no. I am locking you into this other character that has nothing.
And you can't just fucking kill yourself. That's no fun.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
You gotta live.
And he didn't try to. It was great.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He was good. He was good about it. And like,
Yeah.
fuck,
It was
man.
great.
Oh, it was so good.
Oh, we're shitters.
Oh, it was so funny.
Good times.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, anyway, back to not balanced.
excuse me. Goblin crits your level 1 fighter, rolls max damage, dropping them instantly. Fighter. This is outrageous. It's unfair. All right.
Now, I don't think you need to use a CR encounter, but I also think you should be practical. Of course, I could be very well wrong. The question of balance is a constant debate. Do you balance your encounters? If
Yes.
so, how do you do it? If not,
The
why
same
wait?
as you. If we're going by you're the same as you. Literally exactly the same as you. I just never said I wasn't balancing things.
Yeah.
I love that little Boo plushie.
There's I see a hamster.
Yeah, like Minsk and Boo.
Oh, yes, that's right. D&D. Yes, sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The popularization of Mario's booze. That's where my brain went.
Yeah.
But yes,
no, that's
I
fair.
agree. Now that you've reminded me, for sure. Yes.
Let me know down below in the comment section. But what if you're looking for a game that forgoes combat balance entirely? What if you wanted to go back to the classics of Dungeons & Dragons? Or, well, rather a redux of that. Well, Dungeon Crawl Classics is the perfect homage to old school games.
That's true.
And is a fun, innovative game that you really gotta go check out.
It's real
over
fun.
here. And as always, I'm your average everyday queer host, Blurry Disposition. Y'all, have an awesome day. Ciao.
What I will say about Dungeon Crawl Classics is that it has its own sense of balance, where you have like 5 level 1 characters at the beginning, because the game knows that you will lose a lot of them. And it's balanced that way so that you have all of those characters that you can lose. Like, there's still balance in there, my guy. I'm sorry to say. But yeah.
It's less so that I want to know how to balance encounters. I want to know how to balance combat, because I'm bad at it.
I
requested these videos tonight, and I have learned nothing. What a shame.
Just keep doing what you're doing is basically what I've heard so far, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, I will continue to not learn.
Alejo, that's an idea. Prince Boo plushies. Hey, that's up to you guys, okay?
Yeah.
If the thing is, the way that we get those things to come out of plushies for each of the cast would be, if you guys make us so popular that we can do one of those makeshift things, okay?
Yeah.
That's the only way that works. Otherwise,
honestly,
we gotta commission
really,
a random Etsy
the
person.
onus is on you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think I could get a plushie because of copyright.
I don't know if Yeah, it depends.
I would have to change my icon, and I don't think I
No,
can.
yeah. Nintendo might not like that. Well, so
That's the thing.
Like, this is the thing, man. I don't know. It would be something that I would have to, like, discuss with somebody who understood it better. But, like, your character doesn't technically exist.
No, it does.
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean, Prince Boo, technically, there is no Prince Boo, but my icon has always been a Bomb Boo from Mario Galaxy.
That's right. But, I mean,
a Bomb Boo with a crown does not technically exist, so,
that's right. Okay.
But then again, Nintendo's, like, really shitty about their
copyright.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So, well, I probably couldn't get one.
We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, true.
Really
Plus, like, I kind of think. Oh wait, actually, a Greydon plushie would be kind of cute.
Thank you.
just a
little cell shaded looking kind of guy.
Yeah,
little void man. Yeah,
it'd
be cool.
Black body with the like gray outline around him.
Yeah, exactly. And the little red for my headphones with the red.
Yeah,
and technically, I don't really have a main chemical, or like I don't really have any plushie capabilities.
I would say that we could maybe do something with that what you got right now. Maybe.
Which by the way I have to change away from because Christmas is over.
That's fair. But, like, it could be, like, a person holding that or something like that on a lab coat or something. I don't know. There's possibilities there, you know?
Yeah. Well, you need to come up with the design for an actual Captain Chiral.
True. That's true.
That's what it would need to be.
That is on you. Yeah.
Yeah, that he'd be like a... Oh, dude, he'd be like a fleet captain or something.
Ooh.
Or maybe like a steamboat captain.
Hell yeah. Send me your ideas and I'll get a commission for sure.
So you could do it as Mickey Mouse.
You could be Steamboat Willie.
You could do it.
No, that was where my mind went because I watched Corridor Digital did a Steamboat Willie thing.
Oh, did they? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
can't
seen
use
a couple
the song.
of things.
Apparently the song is still copywritten.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Which
is weird.
But
Yeah.
Let's see. Really balanced can mean that the party will probably win, but they'll drag themselves through the dungeon and probably lose someone. Sure, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Overcoming the challenge is really all that you need to worry about, right? Yeah. Like, yes, somebody could die, but, like, that's just par for the course, really. It's potentially possible.
A chance I'm willing to take.
Yeah, it's possible for literally anyone to die. So, they won't like it, but I would for the Boo plushie. Yeah, I would too.
I would too.
Yeah.
I can point to it and say that's fucking me.
Isn't Boo's icon just a bowling ball king with a tail? That's right. Portable plush dad. I'm not your dad.
Oh dear God. That's what needs to be on him. It needs to be the black body, gray outline for the cell shading, and it just says dad.
No. So here's the idea, right? Because makeshift peoples with their thing, they do multiple plushie lines. Let's be fair, okay? So the first one would be just me in the hoodie and everything, right? And that would be it. And then if we were able to do a second one, it would be me in dad clothes.
Yo.
Like,
you
know
have the power to make this happen.
You know the kinds. Make it, when we get even more popular, like, you can even appear in Build-A-Bear and people can put dad clothes on you.
Oh my God. And they can, like, overstuff you as you get older. And
that's
fatter.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Or they can understuff you to make you slightly closer to your actual height.
There has to be one that has longer hair because I haven't cut my hair in like months and it's pretty much down to my pec now. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, that's right. Okay. Anyway.
We're going to make millions of plushies, not dollars.
That's right. Yay, plushie papa. Stop it.
Ugh, disgusting. I don't like that one. I liked all the other ones. All the other ones were fine, not that one.
It's not a bamboo. Bamboos have yellow teeth.
They have yellow.
We might be able to get away with technicalities. That would be cool.
Because I know I've got the yellow eyes. I didn't realize they had the yellow teeth.
Trust me, I've already been working on personifying Captain Chiral for the Garrett 8-Ball. Draco Kraken.
Oh,
what are you doing?
Shit, dude.
Oh,
is he gonna be like our character art designer? Like fucking.
That would be sick.
Yeah, dude.
If you do some character art for us, I would be happy about it for sure. I would use it.
Very curious.
Yeah. Hey Boo, just make your own dark ghost. Yeah, that's right. Just do it.
I mean, honestly, I could.
You could. You really could.
I could just make a ghost.
Yeah. You could have.
Although, honestly, I think if I were to change to anything, it would probably be something Cthulhu-y.
Oh, for sure. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
You could have a dude with a jar, a head, and inside the jar have what's on his PFP now. True. Like,
Captain Chiral?
No, you. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, no, it could be. Yeah, because...
I thought we were talking about Boo. What's up?
Yeah.
You could have a dude with a jar, a head, and inside the jar have what's on his PFP now. So maybe for Captain Chiral.
Yeah, that sounds
clarifying.
Like
yeah, that makes sense if it was for you. But it could be a guy Boo for you with a tiny you plushie like component. Don't worry, Nintendo. It's not the focus. It's fine.
Yeah, because I would definitely feel most comfortable doing a Cthulhu one because Cthulhu,
for sure.
Everything out of the Cthulhu mythos is public domain.
Public domain for sure.
Which, mwah.
Yeah.
Thank fuck.
I'd have to see this is a way future problem. But it would be one that we'd have to see like what we could get away with, you know.
Yeah.
Where can I find a molecule? Good question.
Everywhere.
Note, I only really work in sprite animations. Dude, that's fine. I love pixel art for sure.
You can find a molecule not everywhere, but in most places.
There you go. What? No body pillow? Dude, that would be hilarious if we put out body pillows though. That would be fucking hilarious. I would laugh so hard every day. Tharnanar body pillow.
God. Oh God.
Oh
no, dear God.
Please
that would be a nightmare.
A Tharnanar plushie.
That would be good.
Well, everybody wants the Tharnanar. I was expecting it to be a fucking Mocha plushie.
Mocha would be good too, for sure.
Or Boris.
Yeah. Honestly,
comes with Kung Fu action grease.
Yeah. It comes. It is the only plushie to come with how do you pronounce this? Is it pomade?
Pomade or pomade?
Pomade. It is the only plushie to come with pomade.
Yeah. And it's literally just a tub of bacon grease.
I've been toying with the idea of getting each of our characters from Devils and Dice into the old timey cartoon style through some commissions because I really want to do that.
Yeah,
that would be really fun.
Be very good.
Like all the major characters, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Or a champion.
Oh, champion for sure, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't feature in very much, but
no,
when
but
he does,
he's memorable.
You'll remember.
Yes, always remember champion. Captain Chiral, sorry, multitasking. Oh, for the what your idea was. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Guy with
Mez body pillow. It would be like up to your knee.
It would be basically the size of a regular pillow.
Exactly.
A Mez body pillow would be more like a throw pillow.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. plush.
Oh, and it has a fucking
lot of good ideas.
And it's got a fucking like little thing in the hand, like in a you know when you have a bear or a plushie that you press a button and it sounds
Oh yeah, and they would make the noise. Yeah,
it plays a sound. There we go. Jesus
play
Christ,
the re for
you
sure.
You need a doorbell that'll play the re-sound.
man.
Oh, you could do that pretty easy, probably. This Potter pillow, yeah, for sure.
Ugh.
Yeah, these are all good ideas, but you know,
Yeah.
things,
Money.
Go out
Success.
there. Go out
Success.
there and bring us more fans.
Yes.
Well, speaking of, I suppose it is time to move on to comments. And I will open up the floor to you both in order to allow you, if you wish, to bow out now, if you are feeling it. Up to you.
I still have some cleaning to do, so I think I'll take advantage of that.
All right.
Okay.
Well
Hey,
then.
have a good one, guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
you too.
And you so tomorrow we're gonna be starting hopefully around 1 your time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, because it's gonna be 4 hour time.
Yes.
Alejo, in that case, are we watching a movie before 1?
We could try it if you're awake.
Yeah. Well, I need to know, let me know now, so then that way I can set an alarm.
Yeah, let's go for it. It would be what? Oh, well, if it's 1 your time, so it would be
So it would have to be 9 my time,
9
so
your
noon.
time. All right, yeah, do you want to wake up at 9? That's the question. Because if you don't want to wake up at 9, we don't have to.
Not terribly, but
Yeah, that's
want
fine.
more. I want more so to get Friday the 13th done with.
Oh, you want us to escape?
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. Okay, yeah, we'll go for it then. And if you're not feeling it at the time, let me know. Right.
All right, sounds good.
All right. See you tomorrow. Hopefully.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
Okay.
Lore time? Yes, lore time. So there's a few comments from last time that I need to also go through because we did the Gara Bingo and that took everything out of us.
Yes.
Or at least me.
Yes.
So let me get this all set over here. Okay. So here we are. All right. So, this was from Timothy on the chill episode we did for Crimbo 164. Hello, bros, and happy holidays. Oh, thanks. Happy holidays. It's past time. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I had a good time. Hope everyone else did. Anyway, here's my gift. More lore. The Log of Alabaster, Entry 2. I forgot which date I gave for the last one, so a few days after that one. Fair enough. After leaving Moorworth, I was really glad I purchased a cart and horse to travel with. Excuse me, goodness. Seeing as I'm still not 100% from Talathorn's test, there is no way I could walk the whole distance to what's left of the Crackle Kingdom without Star Ruby needing to carry me most of the time. If we actually wanted to make it there in less than a month. There's plenty of room for the 3 of us since we don't have much. All I have is my bag of holding. Star Ruby just has his mask and a knife. And Galvin only has his art tools, drum, and pony tied to the back of the cart. I found myself hoping for a quick trip to find Targasius. As we went down the road at around dawn, we saw a small camp on the side of it. No camping is allowed this close to the road, so we stopped to see what was going on. We saw leftovers of a campfire full of black ash, with a teapot hanging on the wire over the top of it. I told Star Ruby to check the bedroll, since it looked in use. He walked over and poked it with the handle of his knife. A scream came from it, and a goblin popped out. I knew who it was as soon as I saw those dinner dish eyes. Hardin, I called. What the hell are you doing here? He looked around, saying, "Oh, great. It's the runaway tradesman that racked my business by telling the farmers near Crandall paying me to take their crops to market was a ripoff." "Well, it was," I said back. "Yeah, but you don't tell them that," Hardin yelled. I tried my hardest not to laugh. "I see the ogre is still with you. I guess you took him up on that henchman for hire deal." "I did, and it's been working out well," I said. Hardin's eyes then went to Galvin. What's that, your pet? I am not, Galvin cried. No, he's just going with us, I said. We have some work to do near the Crackle Kingdom. You mean that beaten down pile of rocks? It's being sold for scrap, Hardin said. Since a bunch of demons kicked the shit out of it. What work could anyone have in that place? IMO work, that's all you need to know, I said back. Oh, I see, Hardin said. Well, I'm digging any deeper into that magic stuff, or I guess I'm not. Smart idea, I said back. So, are you just gonna sit out here until someone puts you in jail for camping next to the road? Nah, Hardin said. Nobody's paying me any mind with all that fallout from the demon war. I got at least a few more months before anyone will do anything. Well, try not to get yourself killed out there, I said. We only have 2 more days till we get to the capital city of whatever is left of the Crackle Kingdom, so we are going. I doubt you care, but I will, Hardin said, as we started down the road again. Well, that's all I got. Have a nice day. Thank you. Nice. Nice little thing. And then Lux on last week's. It feels weird to have a comment ready to post before the due date, but it looks like that's the case with this one. I doubt this will be a trend. Before I get started on lore, I would like to mention that I offered up over 100,000 hearts to Viridi on Christmas morning as planned. I then went to sleep and had a dream where Viridi took Dr. Eggman out with a sniper rifle. I suppose that would have been horrific to most people, but my dream logic was very insistent that this was within the spirit of Christmas, and it made me feel very proud. Anyway, all right. Down to business. Yeah, sure. I intend to make this the last of these dialogue comments. I was able to get into a flow on this one, but I was lucky. I think I would tend to be better off building a more detailed world before I start writing stories in it. Now, for the out-of-character audience-friendly recap. The Felkarai are a race of humanoid demon fae engineered by the shadow god Rathmont, who was talked about many comments ago. Rathmont was the remnant of a more ancient dark god known as Sif, and was himself overthrown by the Felkarai before the founding of the Felkarai Republic. In more recent times, Entropy Abendroth, student council president of Felcare University, overthrew the Senate and took power as the overlord of Felcare. The following takes place 325 years after Entropy's rise to power. Because it will come up, Felshi? Oh, is pronounced Felshi. Okay, thank you. The word she on its own refers to a hill or mound under which fae spirits live in Irish mythology. Oh, yeah, gotcha. And can also refer to fae folk collectively. Yeah, the she. Yes, exactly. Yes. Oh my god, thank you. I like that you have put that in there. Because I know things. Fel, derived here from Middle English, can denote something as treacherous and crafty, shrewd and subtle, or fierce and spirited in combat. Care is a Welsh word for fortress, so Felcare can be taken to mean deadly fortress, fortress of treacherous people, or fortress of fierce fighters. Very Incidentally, the word banshee is the anglicized spelling of banshee. One could be forgiven for thinking that the first of the banshee would get to the best of a mean she, but that's not true because ban is pronounced ban. Right, ban. Yeah. I wanted this recap to be brief, but I'm already getting carried away. Better to cut to the chase right now. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate all that though, because you got me thinking about the she, which is fun. Felkarai High Command, Emergency Channel, Empire Net Com Log 424-22-668, 315. Chorus, Skyfire to Overlord, Entropy. Chorus, it's 3 in the... What's going on? Chorus, I've got a report on the Schadenvelkar situation. I thought you drove them off. Can't this wait until morning? We need to shut down the Autolabs right now. Shut down? Why? Zelia, connected. Hey, what the fuck? Are you going over my head, Chorus? Chorus. I've raided the Shadon Velkar temple and found out why they attacked. It's because the research AI the mortals have been selling us. Because of it. Entropy. Okay, we'll increase the guard. Zelia, Chorus. No, you don't get it. Zelia. Chorus, you're out of line. Chorus. Seath was an AI. Entropy. Seath? Chorus. I mean, he started as an AI. Then he kept upgrading himself until he turned into what he was. Entropy. What are you saying? Chorus. I'm saying we need to demolish all the autolabs and make sure the mortals can't make any more of them. Zelia. That would mean... Chorus. Wipe out their civilizations, all of them, before we get another Rathmon. Destroy them now, now, now. Entropy. Chorus, I want to rule the universe, not destroy it, and our empire needs trade with the mortals. Chorus, I can't believe I'm hearing this. I won't stop this from If you won't stop this from happening, I will. Disconnected. Zelia. Overlord, we're reading multiple alerts from Sector 7. Unauthorized weapon systems powering up. Shadon Velkar signatures inbound. Entropy. Chorus, you idiot. Zelia, go to Red Alert. I want to see that traitor's head on a pike. Empire Net Comlog 4/24/22/668/09/36. So 6 hours later. Entropy. Zelia, what's going on? Zelia. Chorus got half the Legion to side with her, and the Shadon Velkar ambushed the rest of us. We fought them off, but she got away. Entropy. Yeah, they raided Felcare too. I've been dodging bombs all morning. Most of the class reps are dead, and everything's on fire. I zapped a few of them, but I think they took out all the research stations and left. Discordia, connected. Overlord, I'm getting reports from our embassies. Someone's attacking our trade contacts all over the mortal realms. Someone's ripping our trade network a new one. Entropy. Fuck! Skyfire must have made off with our navigation charts. Calexia, come back home. We need to rebuild the Legion before we do anything else. Izala, connected. Greetings, Overlord Entropy. Have I caught you at a bad time? Entropy. First, fuck you. Second, how did you find this channel? Third, who the fuck are you? Calexia. Entropy, I'm seeing more unidentified forces entering Felcare? Felshi? Izala. Winter Felshi. You may call me Queen Izala. Your friend Chorus showed me this comm channel, you call it? Discordia. So some of the Felshi survived. Izala. Indeed. My ancestors took refuge on a dark and frozen world far beyond your reach. Do not worry. Rathmont was truly pleased by your race's success in the destruction of mine. My kind's survival was intended, so that another replacement might be created from us if yours also proved inadequate. Discordia. Maybe we can talk this over? Izala. Oh, there will be matters to discuss. There will indeed be matters to discuss. But for now, I think it's time. I think it is time for taking. This is quite a lovely city you have. Disconnected. Entropy. Well, this is a dumpster fire. Alexia, shall we prepare to engage? Entropy. I'm going after Chorus. Do what you want. Overlord Calexia. Disconnected. Alexia. That little... Well, you heard her, Discordia. Let's... Discordia disconnected. Damn it. Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Thank you. Dispotter pots. Oh, hey, Dispotter is actually a Roman god. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Cool. What's the god of?
I believe it's something similar to what he is in D&D, actually.
Oh, cool.
Dispotter isn't just a name, it's actually it's a combination of two words.
Yeah.
And it's dis and potter, and potter literally translates to father.
Father, right, yeah.
Something, is it Latin?
It's probably Latin.
I don't remember which one it is, but yeah.
Okay, cool. And then
at least some of the circles of hell in D&D are based off of, the Dante's Inferno ones. So
yes, that's true. And then we have Unit Rico on last week saying, belated Merry Christmas, and, as I won't be able to catch the final show preemptive, Happy New Year's, everyone. May 2024 be filled with crit rolls and other good stuff. That's true, yes. Thank you. It is 2024, I forgot.
Yep.
Shit.
The 4th 2020 in a row. Goddamn.
That's right. Oh my god. I hope
disgusting.
not.
Just fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, Wikipedia. Dispotter, otherwise known as Rex Infernus or Pluto, is a Roman god of the underworld. Cool. That makes sense then. Good job, old Wizards of the Coast. You did it. Actually, probably wasn't even them back. Well, when did he first appear? Actually,
Pluto?
It was probably... No. I'm talking about Dispotter.
Dispotter specifically. I don't actually
I think
know.
He probably...
I know he was in 3.5.
Yes, he was in 3, so if he was in 2, I think Wizards owned them by then, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So good job, old Wizards of the Coast. Still applies. Right, I just remember the Pluto part. I didn't even know, so I'm happy about that. That's cool.
So is Pluto, does that in, so Jupiter was Zeus. Is Pluto Hades?
I believe, yeah. I believe so. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember.
Anyway, so Timothy on those were all last week. 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
This is now last week's, right, because of Garabingo. Okay. Timothy says, hello, bros. So, Garabe. Yeah, I got nothing. I just have the hope that he will be happy one day. Oh, you never know.
Man, who knows?
I think Pluto was Hades. Yeah, okay. Yes, it was Hades. Yeah. Okay, sick. Anyway, so happy one day, but I already said my piece during the show. Hope everyone had a happy new year. Also, I'm still working on lore. I should have the next part for the first new episode of 2024. I'm shooting for a longer entry this time. Wish me luck. Have a nice day. Well, thank you. I look forward to reading it. And then finally, Lux, also with a short comment on last week's.
Oh my god.
That's right. I don't feel ready to post my next lore dump yet. I spent all my time writing it, and it's going to be long so when it does get finished. So short comment this time. So have a happy new year. I'd say have a good millennium, but I'd be spending a lot of my political capital with the universe to make a request like that. And I usually try not to overinvest. So for now, have a happy new year, and we'll see how things go. True. Thank you. I hope everybody had a good New Year's, and everybody has a good 2024. There you go. Oh, and I can't find a clear answer right away on when Dispotter was put into D&D, but I'm seeing him on Greyhawk Wiki, so it might have been 1E. If so, TSR gets the credit there. Oh, well,
okay, then.
In that case, if that's true, then yes. It's going to be long, boys. All right, well, hey, we're not unfamiliar with long comments, so go for it. I'm happy for it. But that's it, everybody. We did it.
Yep.
We did it this evening. We covered, we covered some videos about balance that didn't feel as much about balance as they should have.
Maybe we should have won with the 52-minute one.
Yeah, well, maybe we should have, but that's a future thing. That's a future thing. So, see a Reddit post saying he was in the 1E Monster Manual. All right, well, there you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then, yeah, good job.
TSR, then.
TSR. So, that being said, another big ol' thank you to our table flippers on Patreon. That being Draco Kraken, Mog Zero, Rick, aka Unirico, Slazer, Steely, Crimson Rose Armok, and our Tier 1 contributor. Appreciate all of the dollars that you send to us for some reason that you like this show. That's pretty cool. Don't forget about all the things that I've told you about, but I can't force you to do anything because I am not your dad.
He's not.
I'm not. So if you're
new... Or is
new,
that just what he wants you to think?
No, don't put that in their heads. But if you're new, consider the subscription to the channel. It's free, and liking the video, it helps. I'm
it's
led
also
to believe. Yeah, it's also free. And leaving a comment, that's also free, and also helps. I am also led to believe.
Although you can, if you want, leave a comment along with money.
That is true. You could do that if you wish. It is
Yes.
possible. It is certainly possible.
And that is not free.
That is not free.
It is not free to give us
No.
money. You have to pay to give us money.
That's true. And we would appreciate it if you did. But again, don't feel obligated. Anyway. We've got some stuff coming up soon for the gaming of Yakuza. So get excited for that. And other than that, we hopefully will be we'll be finishing Devils and Dice soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So that we can move on to the next big thing. That the table flippers can choose what they want to see next.
And I will finally get to play a game again.
That's
set me free. Only you guys can set me free. Pick a game.
That's right. So look forward to that if you are a table flipper member.
And if you have a sense of empathy and mercy for me.
That's right. But
I'm putting it all on them now. Even though it's all on you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all on you guys.
Anyway, so we will see you next week for whatever the next topic is, and have a good rest of your week, everybody. Or I guess next week,
really.
Because it's the end of the week technically now.
Oh yeah. Have a good week.
Yeah, have a good week.
That's a better way to do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Remember when we used to do that every time?
Yes. We
And
still
when
kind of do.
Still kind of. And it was just basically a thing that Aiden said like once.
Once.
And then we
yes.
just started. It's the same thing with the and one of these.
And one of these. Yes, exactly.
He said it once and it became a thing.